Chelsea bringing in Enzo Fernandez for Mudryk, and Kunku is on the bench. Newcastle without Sharon Gelinton. Byrne drops down to the bench. Botman, Lewis Miley and Kraft are the players that come in, and Kieran Trippier fit enough again for a place on the bench. Chelsea have Petrovic in goal, Disasi, Thiago Silva, Badiashile and Colwill, Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, Palmer, Gallagher, Sterling and Jackson. For Newcastle, Dubravka in goal, Kraft, Lascelles, Botman, Livramento, Lewis Miley, Guimaraes and Longstaff, Almiron, Wilson and Gordon. They met just a few weeks ago. Newcastle won 4-1, a place in the last four. Up for grabs tonight.
Jim, thanks very much. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes 18+, begambleaware.org.
The big preview on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18+, begambleaware.org.
Right, let's check into the darts, the PDC Worlds. Here's Sean Price.
Yes, it's day 5 here at the Palace. Bananas in pyjamas, about 100 Santa and his elves, and of course at least 50 traffic cones. It can only be Dartmouth at Ali Pali. And we've had a cracker of an afternoon session earlier with the first seed knocked out. The machine, James Wade, 13th seed at his 20th World Championship, was beaten 3-2 by Canada's Matt Campbell, a player who hadn't even won a match here in 5 attempts until Sunday. But tonight the drama continues and there's 4 matches to come. And I have to say, I've just seen Peter Crouch out here in the audience. He's enjoying the darts tonight. And so from one English legend to another, currently on the oche, it's the bronze Adonis himself, the oldest player at the World Championships at 59 years young, Steve Beaton. And he has just won the first set against Dutchman Wessel Nijman in a race to 3 sets. And more to come, 3 first round matches, including a second round match with the 3-time world champion Michael Van Gerwen kicking off his championship campaign.
Great stuff, Sean. Thank you very much. And of course, you can catch the darts all the way through the tournament live on TalkSport 2. If you've never listened to darts on the radio, do give it a try because it is incredible fun. To get TalkSport 2, just tell your smart speaker to play TalkSport 2 or download the TalkSport app for free. You can swipe between TalkSport and TalkSport 2. If you actually press on the live games tab on the home screen there, you'll be able to see what live football matches are coming up. Some of them, in fact, all the Christmas Boxing Day 27-28 games are all live and exclusive on the TalkSport network. Some available only on the app, so you will need to download the TalkSport app from where you get your apps. Now, let's check into the cricket. England 2-1 down in the T20 series in the West Indies, but the manner of England's win at the weekend must have rejuvenated everybody involved with that England squad. So ahead of the 4th T20 in Trinidad, here's Andrew McKenna.
Well, Saturday's win in Grenada kept England alive. Now they need to do it all again, and also on Thursday if they want to take the series. However, they'll do so in a venue that's new to them. They've been coming to Trinidad for years, but they're not in Port of Spain. The Brian Lara Stadium in Tarouba tonight hosts its only 3rd ever men's T20 international, so there's very little information for them to base decisions on. If you include the Caribbean Premier League matches, the average score batting first this year is only 160. But if you look at only day-night games all time, that total drops to 135. So it might well be that runs are at a premium. The toss has just happened. The West Indies have won the toss and decided to bowl. They've made one change with Matthew Ford coming in for his debut. Alzari Joseph is being rested for the last couple of games ahead of their test matches in Australia after Christmas. England have made 2 changes. Chris Wokes and Rayan Ahmed coming into the side with Gus Atkinson and Tamal Mills missing out. First ball is 25 minutes away. There is exclusive commentary, as you say, Adrian, ball by ball, over on TalkSport 2.
Macca, thank you very much. The Chelsea and Newcastle players out there warming up. Stuart Pearce, let's take a bit of time to talk about Mauricio Pochettino. He said in a clip at the start of the show that he wants to win something in England, wants to win a trophy in England. Of course, won trophies with Paris Saint-Germain, but it was so close, but so far with Tottenham, wasn't it? Champions League final, League Cup final that they lost as well. And whilst he's got a lot of kudos, a lot of respect from everybody in football, I think he feels himself that he's got to break that trophy duck in this country.
Yeah, and as I say, he's got a very good reputation as a manager. I like him as a manager, but the bottom line is you get probably judged on the magnitude of the clubs you're at and whether you're successful at those football clubs. You know, I think people give you a little bit of tolerance, if you like, if you're managing at the lesser teams, and a bit of understanding if you don't win anything. But if you're you're at Chelsea now, Pochettino, you'll be expected to win trophies.
Yeah, and Spurs to get to a Champions League final is seen as something special because they've never done it before. But with Chelsea, if you don't win a trophy, then you will be judged harshly. And that's probably correct given the history Chelsea have got.
Well, exactly. You're beholden to the history the club have got. They seem to be a way away from the history of the great teams that were winning silverware and European Cups at this moment in time. But you fully expect someone of his magnitude to build this team and get stronger and stronger. And now the starting point for that might just be a Carabao Cup victory.
Yeah, Gus Poyet was on TalkSport this week saying that when he arrived at Chelsea, he was told, one of the first things he was told was they expect to win a trophy every year. That was pre-Abramovich days. And obviously that expectation stayed the same or even got a bit more acute as time went on with Abramovich taking over. They didn't just expect to win trophies, they expected to win the big trophies as well. Right now, given the fact that they've had almost a forced takeover, if you like, a strategy that has kind of ripped the heart and soul out of the squad and replaced it with new young talent, I think a League Cup is about probably all they could aim for this season.
Well, they've got a good opportunity. They're in a quarter-final, they're playing at home. And they would look at the rest of the competition and say, you know what, we've got as good a chance as anybody who's left in the competition. But that all depends. They've got to play well tonight. If they don't, Newcastle might be too strong for them.
What do we respect about, you said you respect Pochettino, what do we respect about him? What is it about his management style?
I like the people beyond the manager, to be honest with you. You know, I spoke about Steve Cooper. Poch will fall into that category as well. You meet them sort of away from the sharp end of football, if you like, you know, behind the scenes and stuff like that. And they're likeable people, and that's what I like about them, you know. And then on top of that, you start to judge them on how their teams play and that type of thing. So, I don't know, he comes across to me as a very genuine man, and I like him, and I think he's been a plus coming to these shores to manage it.
Yeah, and there's an honesty about him as well. Over the years, he's obviously done a lot of interviews. I remember reading one of them that he did, and he said in it that he admitted he's a crybaby. He gets very emotional. He sheds tears a lot. He did it. Remember when he ran onto the pitch when they beat Ajax away in the Champions League semi-final? There were tears there. Didn't mind admitting that whatsoever. But does it get too emotional sometimes? Does that affect your decision making as a manager?
We're in an emotional game, whichever way you look at it. You know, sometimes you like to be ice cold, and you're told. Certainly, I was in my younger days, be unemotional, don't show the opposition you've got any emotion to you, be cold, be calculating, all those type of things. But it's an emotional game. This game's brought me to my knees in tears, you know what I mean? So I don't think it's a bad thing. Yeah, as long as you keep control of it and it doesn't affect your judgment.
Yeah, there was a weird one this season when they got the 4-0 with Man City, which was an incredible game. Everybody was blown away by the whole game, the performance of both sides, the mental ability, the strength of both sides as well, plus the fact that Chelsea came back to get a draw in the game, and everybody thought they were beaten. But straight at the final whistle, he's on the pitch and he's barking at the officials and he's angry about something. And he apologised for it all later, but in that moment, you know, he just got caught up in those emotions. I'm with you. I kind of like the fact that, you know, a manager will let their emotions run away with them. Sometimes some of them take it too far, and they need to show that they keep control. But Mauricio Pochettino is an emotional man. That shows in his management.
Yeah, and I think probably that game was symptomatic of the fact Chelsea needed to show they're still at the top table. And I think that result that day and his performance of his team that day probably sent a message out and said, look, don't write us off just yet, you know. A lot's been said about this football club recently, about the amount they've spent, underachieving for the amount they've spent, all of those type of things, you know. So that's where that emotion comes from, I think.
Yeah, and as a tactician, I'm intrigued by how highly you rate him. I mean, if we saw at Saturday's game, Sheffield United, for example, he tweaked Cole Palmer's position where he was a central number 10 figure in the first half, and then moved out to the right. Sterling moved up front with Jackson, and it really worked. And Sheffield United, albeit bottom of the Premier League, I know that, but they didn't really know how to mark or deal with Cole Palmer in that instance, and he suddenly became the star of the show running it. So that was a little tweak from Mauricio Pochettino. Yes, it relies on the player's quality to do that on the pitch, but he knew how to get the best out of that player when he'd had, you know, a disappointing first half, I'd say.
Yeah, I always find it very amusing in football how people come out and give throwaway lines. I've got no plan B. That seems to be a little tag word this day and age in football from supporters or pundits or whatever it is. The bottom line is, you don't manage Tottenham, you don't manage Chelsea, you don't manage PSG unless you're a really good manager. Everyone that manages a good manager. Some are tactically better than others, we understand that. But I still look at this fella and think he's an outstanding manager, you know. But he'll want to get his hands on silverware. It's like, you know, I look at a comparison with Moisey. Moisey's been a manager for years and years, got over 1,000 games to himself. To actually get his hands on that bit of silverware, it means a hell of a lot to him as a person, as it will do to Poch if he managed to do so here.
Well, Moisey singing and dancing after he'd won the Europa Conference League trophy is burnt into my retina. I can't get that out of my brain now. And I think a lot of people feel the same, and why not? Enjoy it.
Exactly, and I hope I see him dancing again, but on a different forum, I really do.
Well, listen, fair play. He actually said, didn't he, in the middle of last season, David Moyes, I want to win a trophy. I've had a good career as a manager. That would top it off, and he's only gone and done it. Pochettino's coming to Chelsea. He wants to win a trophy for this football club, wants to win a trophy with an English club, and he's got a chance. It's a quarter-final tonight as Chelsea take on Newcastle live on TalkSport. This is Kick-Off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Kick-Off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Come on, Katerina. You can handle this heat. One event at a time. Throw together a decent ragu. Jump straight onto the Malaysian curry. Bring it home with the chili. Yeah, I'll boss this batch cook.
Perform better on Sundays. Get half-price electricity 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. with Peak Save from British Gas. Proud partners of Team GB and Paralympics GB. Ends 31st of December. T's and C's apply. Smart meter required.
I love Nifty 50. 5 draws a day, 7 days a week.
Check out Betfred Lotto's Nifty 50 price boosts in December and January. For a £1 stake, you could win £900 if you pick a match 3 numbers, or £12,500 if you pick a match 4.
Bet a little, win a lotto.
Betfred Lotto's Nifty 50, in-store and online. Max stakes and max payout rules apply. Full T's and C's apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Ding dong, maverick on high. Magic Mike's bells are ringing. Ding dong, Shazam in the sky. And Spider-Man is swinging. Upgrade to Sky Cinema for more of the latest blockbusters like Top Gun Maverick, Magic Mike, The Last Dance, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Fast 10, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And 2 free view tickets a month. Sky Cinema. Movies made Christmas. Sky TV contract required. View tickets valid Sunday to Thursday. Limits and restrictions apply. See sky.com for terms.
McDelivery, you in?
Oh, am I? What a day. I need 6 chicken McNuggets, or maybe 9, or maybe 6 and a cheeky cheeseburger. Makes sense. With something sweet to follow, like an apple pie, or a McFlurry. Or I could get a milkshake instead. You know, a nice halfway house of drink and ice cream.
Jane, the game's just started.
Oh, hi. Yeah, sorry. I'm in.
There's nothing quite like a McDelivery. You in? At participating restaurants only. 18+. Serving times, delivery fees and terms apply. See app or mcdonalds.com for details.
At the Aldi Christmas factory that was once William Conker's, they kept last year's prices locked. It was wonderfully bonkers. White potatoes, carrots, parsnips, Brussels sprouts, cabbage and sweet, just 15p each. All in store now. Aldi, officially which cheapest supermarket of the year. Share the love this Christmas.
At BetMGM, we know how to put on a show. So we don't just do offers. We do golden offers like this.
The Golden Boost. Profit boosts every day across football, racing, tennis, and more. Open your BetMGM app and see today's Golden Boost.
BetMGM, it's showtime.
Opt-in required. Profit boosts available on selected markets only. Max stake £5 and max win £1,000. T's and C's apply. Please gamble responsibly.
TalkSport Breakfast in partnership with Arnold Clark. We guarantee the best used car deals in the UK. Move up through the gears every morning with top-of-the-range sports edition, ABS, story breaking news, and more gold talk to the gallon. Plus, a stellar lineup of super celebrity sports guests as standard. TalkSport Breakfast every weekday morning from 6 on TalkSport with Arnold Clark. We guarantee the best used car deals in the UK. Ultimate Game Radio.
Left footed ball inside the penalty area. What a goal!
The lead
Ash into the penalty area, clears it forward, Kieran Trippier crosses! Gordon taps it in! Newcastle lead!
He's very close to being selected for England, that's for sure, because his performance has been that good. He's scored a number of goals. He's very direct, very quick. If he keeps himself together mentally, he's got the world at his feet, Anthony Gordon.
There's something about his character as well. It's not simply the skill and the pace and the intelligence of the movement. He's got that winning mentality.
Chelsea have taken the lead, and it's Cole Palmer, arguably Chelsea's best player, certainly since half-time.
I think Cole Palmer he's undoubtedly the best signing that this ownership have made.
He has supreme confidence in his ability. I like that. I like when players back themselves.
Yeah, it's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, but actually, especially in football, I would say at the top level, a bit of arrogance can be a very positive thing, and I think Cole Palmer, Stuart Pearce, has definitely got a positive arrogance about his play. He certainly believes he's the real deal, but he is backing it up on the pitch.
I think he's been the bright signing for Chelsea this season. He's been the bright spark. Surprised me a little bit. I must turn round and as most people turn around, throw their lot in and say, yeah, I always knew he'd do well. I weren't sure he was the right signing, and when big clubs like Man City let players go, you always think there's a reason behind it. But I think he's been a good signing, played well, scoring goals and creating. So he's done brilliantly for Chelsea so far this season.
And what about having the courage to take the penalty against Man City, his old club? It was for a point, it was so vital that they stuck that penalty away. For somebody so young to show that nerve and say, and bear in mind, you know, there's experienced players on the pitch. Raheem Sterling was on the pitch, and he just said, no, I'm taking this. This is mine all day long.
Yeah, that's what you want to see from youngsters. I mean, bear in mind, Chelsea have got a captain who's, how old's Gallagher, 22?
Yeah.
So he's a pup as a captain, you know. I know I have questioned the fact that, you know, Chelsea and Chelsea Football Club have got such a young man as their captain as such. But listen, Palmer's been very, very good. And if you look through the ranks of their team at the moment, and you're coming up against them, you would say he is the one player that could create something, get a goal, or link things together. He is their key player at this moment for me.
We watch England together. I must say I was surprised that Cole Palmer got the call ahead of Anthony Gordon, who I think defensively his work can't be questioned. His energy is phenomenal, and he creates and he scores as well. He seems to almost be the complete player. Brilliant signing for Newcastle. I think he's been a bit unfortunate not to get a senior caller.
I think both of these players almost mirror each other for their respective clubs. They've been fantastic. Gordon's had to wait his time to get the breakthrough at Newcastle, but now he's got a real arrogance about his football in a good way. He's a handful, he takes people on, and he's everything you don't want to play against as a fullback.
Have they both got a chance of going to the Euros?
100%. Absolute 100%. I think the only reason why probably Palmer got his nose in front at England level was the fact that Palmer contributed to the 21s prior to that. So he's got the England connection more recently, I think. But Gordon certainly, either of those two or both could well be in that squad in the summer if they keep doing what they're doing.
It's no consolation to Anthony Gordon because, let's face it, these days all players want to play for England. I think if anybody still thinks, they don't really care about playing for England, they are seriously mistaken. He'll be disappointed he's not had a call if he's spoken about it as well. And the consolation is, it must have been a toss of a coin for Gareth Southgate. He's got so much in that area of the field. He's got so much to choose from.
Well, he certainly has. And if you're the likes of Marcus Rashford, these two kids are the ones coming to put pressure on you that might well give you the summer off if you're not careful, you know. So the beauty of it is, for Gareth, he's got young players there that are doing particularly well for their club and for their clubs that are big clubs as well, you know. So it bodes well for England and the players.
We were talking about the music earlier, the Clash have just gone on.
Now we're talking. You know, I've had you two disco boys. Ain't gonna bump no more with no big fat woman next to me, you know what I mean? Now all of a sudden we've got a bit of the Clash on. Now we're cooking. They don't diss Joe Tex. And the Sexalette. Beautiful.
Well, the shapes Jim Proudfoot was throwing early with the disco was quite the sight to behold. Again, burnt into the retina. Or was that just you normal?
No, I just have pins and needles and I'm just trying to shake it off.
Let's talk about Conor Gallagher, the captain, because Mauricio Pochettino has been talking about him. And we mentioned Enzo Fernandez being left out. Conor Gallagher stayed in, and it was pretty much a choice between the two. Mauricio Pochettino loves Conor Gallagher. He says he has Chelsea values. He runs, he plays, he fights. That's what he loves about him. And actually, people have asked me this season, what is Conor Gallagher? What does he do? All he does is seems to run. Well, Mauricio Pochettino has summed it up there. Chelsea values, he runs, he plays, he fights.
I tell you what, never underestimate work ethic in a team, honestly, because the energy he's got for the team, he drives the team from the front, he puts people under pressure, he's got a consistency about what he does, and he's still a very young man. And what we don't see, we see the tip of the iceberg here, what they're on show 90 minutes. What we don't see is Monday to Friday on the training pitch and how he influences it. I always champion Jordan Henderson, as you well know, not just for what he does on a football pitch, but the inspiration from Monday to Friday, for the values which Poch has mentioned. Values are a big thing at a football club. If you've got no player in your squad that's got any values and any drive, all of a sudden the rest will just meander along.
I've got to say, I watched him closely, had the Durham binoculars on Gallagher in the warm-up. He was taking the lead, he was showing the way, he was putting a lot in, and that set the example for the rest to follow as well. And they take that into the game at least. That's the hope anyway. Conor Gallagher, the Chelsea captain this evening. We are 6 minutes away from kick-off. We're trying to find out who's the best team in the Carabao Cup this season. We're also in Saudi Arabia trying to find out who's the best team in the world. And Man City are on their way. It's all over in Jeddah. Jeff Peters.
It's finished. Manchester City 3, Urawa Reds 0. No surprise with the result. City were huge favourites to win this. It took them 45 minutes to break through. Bernardo Silva found Nunez, who crossed from the right. Hoyt Bratton turned the ball beyond his own keeper. Mateo Kovacic doubled the lead soon after the restart, running on to Walker's perfect pass between the centre halves and thumping in his first City goal. Silva's deflected effort on the hour made it 3. They could have had plenty more. 25 shots in total. By comparison, the Asian champions had just 2. Next up is Fluminense of Brazil on Friday evening in the final of the Club World Cup. Manchester City 3, Urawa Reds 0.
Will they be the best club side in the world, Manchester City, before heading back and resuming their quest to retain the Premier League title again? And they've got quite the fight on, sitting in 4th place. They go to Everton on the 27th. We'll be there on TalkSport, but there's a World Club Cup final to come before they get back to the shores. Jeff Stelling's been brilliant on breakfast since he's arrived at TalkSport this month, Monday and Tuesday morning, 6 a.m. Until he revealed today he doesn't have gravy on his Christmas dinner. And he actually started the Jeff Stelling anti-gravy army, which I find remarkable. I mean, there's just something not quite right about that. Even so, I'm still giving him another chance when he comes back next week. Ali McCoist and Andy Townsend on breakfast tomorrow. Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent back on Drive at 4 tomorrow doing their thing. And special guest in the studio will be a man Stuart Pearce has worked with, Jesse Lingard. Do you have a question that you would like Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent to pose to Jesse Lingard?
I think the question for me was, after the 6 months he had with us at West Ham, and he was absolutely magnificent, you know, scoring 10 goals in that time, does he regret not going back or forcing a move to West Ham that summer and staying at West Ham? Because subsequently since then, for me, you know, he just went off the radar again, and he was magnificent for us, I've got to say, for 6 months. And I would like to know if he actually does regret that, or whether he felt as though he never had the chance to go back to West Ham.
We'll try and I'll get the boys to put that question to him. Was he a good lad, good trainer as well?
Brilliant, fantastic. The lads loved him in the dressing room. You know, I've been on the road with him at the younger England age groups as well, so we knew what he was about as a kid. He was fantastic for the club.
Jesse Lingard, a special guest on Drive tomorrow from 4. You know, the Carabao Cup on TalkSport this season has given us some fantastic moments, and there may well be more moments to come as well. And maybe tonight, live on TalkSport, it's Chelsea against Newcastle with a man who lifted the League Cup twice as captain of Nottingham Forest, Stuart Pearce, alongside your commentator tonight, Jim Proudfoot.
Adrian, thank you. A very good evening to you. The teams are out, and no other Premier League club can claim to have made the same amount of progress as tonight's visitors. Newcastle over the last couple of years benefiting from newfound largesse and the managerial acumen of Eddie Howe, transformed from relegation fighters to League Cup finalists and Champions League participants. Well, tonight Howe's 100th game in charge can bring his 50th win, and no Newcastle manager whose tenure has been exclusively in the top flight can boast as good a return as that. But it's that elusive first piece of major silverware since the 1960s that matters most. It's evaded the Toon's last 24 permanent managers. And realistically, it's this competition that gives Howe the best chance to deliver it. Can they go one better after last season's near miss? Well, since the Geordies last tasted glory, Chelsea have won 26 major honours, but seldom in the last generation will they have felt as far away from the thick end as in the recent past. With Europe off the table, the league title no longer their realistic concern, the Carabao comes into sharper focus. This competition hasn't always been a priority. It certainly is now, and it's no surprise to see the two managers name their strongest possible team. Chelsea making one change, Enzo Fernandez in for Mudryk. It necessitates a reshuffle too. Petrovic in goal, Disasi, Thiago Silva, whose last League Cup tie was the 2022 final, Badiashile and Colwill, Caicedo alongside Fernandez, Palmer, Gallagher and four-time League Cup winner Sterling, and up front Nicolas Jackson.
Yeah, I think Chelsea create more chances than they actually finish off, and I think Poch will be looking for his team to probably convert a lot of these chances. We spoke about Palmer, and Palmer's ability to create and knit things together will be crucial for Chelsea.
Newcastle without the injured Cher and Jolinton, they leave out Byrne. They've got Dubravka in goal, Kraft, Lascelles, Botman and Livramento, the former Chelsea player, Lewis Miley, Guimaraes and Longstaff, Almiron, Wilson on his 100th Newcastle appearance, and Gordon.
I think leaving Trippier out at right back not only leaves a defender out, it leaves one of their biggest attacking threats out. I really do. Gordon, on the other hand, is going to be a big key player, I think. And once again, I see Newcastle as a side that probably create more than they actually convert.
And just before we get underway here, the first League Cup goal of the night. In Burslem, Ian Hunter.
And it's gone to Middlesbrough. Port Vale 0, Middlesbrough 1. It went in on 12 minutes. Johnny Howson picked up the ball for Middlesbrough round about the midway point of the Vale half, just to the right of centre. Drove forward and tried his luck from 25 yards. It took a touch off a Port Vale defender's leg and looped over the stranded Conor Ripley and into the back of the net at the Hamel Road end to put Borough ahead. Vale had started brightly, but they find themselves behind. It's Port Vale 0, Middlesbrough 1.
Well, the League Cup's last two runners-up both eye a Wembley return. It's Chelsea against Newcastle. The winners have a 1 in 3 chance of an EFL team in the semis, a 1 in 3 chance of drawing a side from the bottom half of the Premier League. The stakes tonight are pretty significant. Chelsea in all blue with the gold trim, and they're kicking from left to right in this first half, attacking the shed end that houses the travelling Newcastle supporters. Newcastle in their famous black and white. Ball played for by Thiago Silva. Jackson offside on the edge of the penalty area, and the first free kick of the night goes at Newcastle's way. We're just less than a minute in. We've got the whole game live view here on TalkSport from Stamford Bridge, and I'm delighted to say it's the former League Cup winning captain Stuart Pearce alongside.
Yeah, interesting one. Just looking at Jackson there, just looked to spring the offside trap, just went slightly too early. It'll be interesting how he's viewed at the moment. Probably taking a little while to settle in. He's only a youngster at the moment, but certainly, hopefully for Chelsea's point of view, he's got better days in front of him.
This is one of 3 quarterfinals taking place tonight in the Carabao Cup. The fourth and final one tomorrow, also live on TalkSport as Liverpool host West Ham. There are a couple of other cup ties tonight as well. One in the FA Cup second round, Blackpool against Forest Green. One in the EFL Trophy, Portsmouth trailing at home to Wimbledon by a goal to nil. And it's Aaron Sassu who scored his first goal of the season for the Dons, away to a side who've won 4 in a row. Portsmouth 0, Wimbledon 1. Winners of that hosting Oxford in the next round. Well, a couple of minutes in, and the first ball challenge of the night executed on Anthony Gordon. Referee Jared Gillett, who perhaps brings cards to the fore slightly more than some of his contemporaries, And he's produced the first yellow card of the night as a result of that poor challenge. Newcastle getting it forward and goes out of play for a throw that they'll take on their right.
Yeah, good play there. Come back to Guimaraes and not messing around at all. He's just helped it on round the corner into the channel. And Badashile had to just help it out of play, give Newcastle a throw in midway into Chelsea's half.
It was Moises Caicedo, incidentally, that picked up that yellow card for Chelsea, who are back on the front foot again here, driving forward from the midfield. Good ball by Enzo Fernandez, looking for Jackson, just steered away by Lascelles, and out comes the goalkeeper Dubravka and can slide out towards the edge of the penalty area to be able to pick it up. Martin Dubravka, who won this competition last season, or got a medal because he was part of the Manchester United team that had reached the final. Because of that, it meant that he was at cup tied for the final itself when he otherwise would have played. Loris Karius, still just the one Newcastle game, which was that final. He's on the bench again today. Chelsea, runners-up in this competition a couple of years ago. The only man who played for them that day, just 2 years ago, who's involved tonight is Thiago Silva. Almiron bringing it forward for Newcastle, finding Gordon, edge of the area, right-footed effort, takes a deflection, spins over the bar for the first corner of the night.
Yeah, quality there from Almiron. Just switched the ball from just down in front of us on the right-hand side to Gordon, and Gordon's first touch probably didn't kill the ball sufficiently for him to get on top of it and hit it before he was shut down.
Has scored in each of his last 2 games against Chelsea, Anthony Gordon, and he makes his way down to this near touchline to take this Newcastle corner now. It's going to be Guimaraes who's going to take it. 6 inside the penalty area to try and hit. It's right-footed, hit in very deep, bounces on the edge of the penalty area, and he will be kept in. Chelsea can push back outside the box, another chance to deliver. High, long, right-footed ball in towards Lascelles, who's still forward. Then flicked on towards the edge of the penalty area by Guimaraes again. Almiron gives it back to him. Right-footed ball driven in. And it's blocked by the studs of the left boot of Enzo Fernandez and goes out of play for a throw on the Newcastle right, down by the Chelsea corner flag.
Yeah, a bit of early pressure here from Newcastle, just building up ahead of steam in Chelsea's final third.
FA Cup tie, Blackpool leading Forest Green by a goal to nil. Owen Dale's 4th of the season at Bloomfield Road. This one 0-0 with 5 minutes gone. Almiron in possession on the Newcastle United right. Tries to check to be able to play the ball back. Enzo Fernandez won it back from him and gets the free kick that Conor Gallagher, the blue skipper, looks to take quickly. Thinks better of it. And Chelsea will just reset and get a few bodies upfield before Levi Colwill takes it. But a decent start from Newcastle, forcing the early tempo and good pressure from them.
Yeah, it is. As I say, straight away, both teams have come out of the traps with decent tempo. Obviously, from Chelsea's point of view, Gallagher setting high revs, as you would expect from him. But certainly Newcastle on the front foot, pressing high.
And Chelsea playing out from the back, do so very ably to play through the press. Gallagher did well under pressure. Now it's played down the right-hand side of the penalty area for Jackson. Faced up by Botman. Jackson twisting and turning, getting a right-footed shot in, which cannons away off Botman and out of play for Chelsea's first corner.
Yeah, great movement there by Jackson once again, just bursting into the box in that right-hand channel. Just once he gets there and he fronts his man up, if a shooting opportunity is not on, don't just cannon it into his legs. I think you've really got to look to get your head up and play one of your teammates in, potentially.
So Disasi forward, the furthest advance of the Chelsea players. It's alongside Colwill on the edge of the 6-yard box. Thiago Silva making a run towards the near post area. It's beaten in, comes out for Gallagher. Oh, he's hit the bar. Great effort from 20 yards. Chested it down, hit a right-footed effort, curved onto the bar. Goes out of play, the next phase of play for a goal kick. But Chelsea a couple of inches away from taking a 7th-minute lead.
Well, the corner was an outswinger. Everyone's come in. I don't think it was meant for Gallagher on the edge of the box. Everyone's just run under the ball. Then all of a sudden, it's come to Gallagher on the edge of the box. He's pulled it down with his chest, and he's curled it with a magnificent, around 3 players coming to shut him down. He's curled it around them and slammed the crossbar.
Has scored in his last 23 games, Conor Gallagher, which is a run that stretches back into last season. A goal against Bournemouth, but very close. The Chelsea skipper giving his side the lead. They look for that corner quite a bit. The away swinger from the right-hand side with Thiago Silva making a run from a far post area, trying to get across the near post, try and get a flick to steer it in towards the far post. Either a direct effort on target or someone coming in behind him. And I think that's what they tried that time. Just a little bit too high for him. That broke Gallagher's way and they very nearly scored from it.
Well, you're just edging your bets then. You know, if Silva gets a header on it, all well and good. If he doesn't, then you've got the insurance of Gallagher hovering around the edge of the box.
Really good start of the game here on TalkSport. 8 minutes gone, it's 0-0. Wimbledon 2 up at Portsmouth, which will be a major shock if they can get the job done in the EFL Trophy tonight. Portsmouth 0, Wimbledon 2, it's a 7:45 kickoff. Blackpool leading Forest Green in the FA Cup. Middlesbrough goal up at Port Vale in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. It's goalless at Goodison between Everton and Fulham. And we'll be checking in with TalkSport's Matt Jones very shortly there. This one 8 minutes in. The 8 o'clock kickoff. Gallagher will play back for Thiago Silva. A roll forward into the feet of Caicedo. Goes back for Silva again and now out towards Disasi. 1-4 centre-halves playing in the back line for Chelsea tonight. Needs must really as far as Mauricio Pochettino is concerned. So many injuries, like so many clubs. And these two between them could have some gain if you had the players that weren't available assembling as a side. The treatment rooms could come up with a sparkling encounter of their own. Guimaraes sending a long diagonal which was underhit. Almiron coming to meet it. Kraft then tries to win the second ball. His return to the side tonight. Gallagher is in there, is lost out for a moment. Miley doing everything he can to try and win it back, was a little bit unlucky. Caicedo gets it back to his goalkeeper. And now to come down towards the Chelsea left-hand side where Almiron pokes it out of play for a throw.
I've just been looking at Miley there, and he's coming up against near enough Gallagher, if you like, you know, man for man, and his movement with the ball and how he manipulates the ball and his movement to create space, you can see why he's in as a starter in Newcastle's team, albeit at a very young age. Very intelligent player.
Newcastle with another opportunity to bring it forward. Do so with Anthony Gordon. Gordon bring it to the edge of the centre circle. Guimaraes working it down towards the Swedish international Kraft. Almiron just a couple of paces to his right now takes over. Reverse ball in from here. Guimaraes working it down towards Kraft. Kraft on the edge of the area. Right-footed ball inside the box. Longstaff couldn't quite get there. And Chelsea will be able to knock it away. Another goal at Vale Park. Ian Dancer.
And it's Port Vale 0, Middlesbrough 2, 24 minutes gone, and Morgan Rogers, who scored in the last round at Exeter, has scored again, but it's all down to Sammy Silvera on the Middlesbrough right, who intercepted a throw out from the goalkeeper to Kofi Palmer at the back, seized the ball, drove infield to the byline and pulled it back so intelligently for Morgan Rogers to run onto and just casually stroke it home past the stranded Ripley. Super goal from Rogers, and Middlesbrough looking dominant suddenly. Port Vale 0, Middlesbrough 2.
It's Morgan Rogers, 5th of the season for the 2004 winners. 20 years ago, the Borough won this competition, taking on the Port Vale side in their first ever League Cup quarter-final, and one that they've gone into in no kind of form. And Borough leading by 2 goals to 0. We'll have both legs of both semi-finals for you on the TalkSport network, and the final itself at the end of February will be right here as well. Ball played down the Chelsea left. Lascelles able to get it back to his goalkeeper, Dubravka taking a touch and then chipping the yellow ball down towards his near touchline where Kraft can control it. Ball towards Miley that did him no favours. He did really well to react under pressure and to be able to climb, get his head to it. Enzo Fernandez's pressure ultimately helped Chelsea win it back. They didn't have it back for long. Livramento making a good darting run forward down the Newcastle left, back on his old stomping ground, but Newcastle couldn't pick him out. They work a more conservative ball back towards Lascelles and will build from deep. 11 gone 0-0.
I think there's a habit in the modern day game. If someone plays you a ball, you bump it straight back to them, you know, especially in the middle band of the pitch. I'll tell you what, when I used to work for Cloughie, if any of the forwards or midfield players didn't get turned on the ball, if they could, he was up in arms. And I think maybe 1 or 2 players need to take that lesson as well, you know, just get turned when you can. As soon as you face the opposition's goal, it's a game changer in the game.
As Those are thoughts of the former England World Cup defender Stuart Pearce here on TalkSport tonight. Livramento's got the ball. So square to his right-hand side for the returning Sven Botman. Came back for the closing stages at the weekend. It's his first start in nearly 3 months tonight after the knee problem that's been keeping him out of the team. Newcastle win a throw midway inside the Chelsea half. Let's get a quick update from Goodison. Here's TalkSport's Matt Joe.
27 minutes gone, it's Everton 0, Fulham 0. Hard to score goals when there's barely been a shot. The first of them and only of them falling to Dwight McNeil, but he lashed over from just inside the 6-yard box. Everton 0, Fulham 0.
Thank you, Matt. It's the only goals in the League Cup so far tonight, both scored by Middlesbrough. 2 up at Port Vale, and now Wimbledon 3 up at Portsmouth in the EFL Trophy. Thiago Silva hasn't played in this competition so far this season, or indeed last. Out of the Chelsea right-hand side, cleverly worked down the line by Palmer for Jackson. Back for Cole Palmer again. Palmer coming in up the right-hand touchline, laying it to Caicedo. Gets a quick return from Conor Gallagher. Now Palmer coming infield will feed Gallagher once more. Colwell to Enzo Fernandez. Yeah, almost the day since he became a world champion. And towards the Chelsea right-hand side. Jackson waiting patiently in the middle if the ball will be delivered from Disasi, who does the next best thing. He wins the corner off Livramento. And a corner that will be taken over on the Chelsea right-hand side.
Yeah, decent setup there. Ball switched out wide and he just cannoned off the defender there. Livramento just for a corner. Got the opportunity to put the ball in the box. Certainly, as you mentioned earlier, Silva is a big threat for Chelsea.
So they've set up with Jackson and Silva standing almost next to each other, about 15 yards from goal. Palmer's in that far post area as well. Gallagher unmarked is in the D. They've got Disasi towards the edge of the 6-yard box with Colwell. It's worked short this time. Colwell was the target of the ball that was swept in. And it'll go out of play for a throw. It hit the corner flag on its way out. It goes out for a throw that'll be taken by Chelsea over on that far touchline, and it's going to be left for Axel Disasi to potentially launch a long one inside the penalty area, although Sterling wants it into feet and ultimately gets it. 2 Newcastle players around him. He's worked it back for Disasi, to Gallagher, and the blonde-haired midfielder goes back towards the edge of the penalty area for Badiashile. Palmer will take over. Now a chance for Disasi to deliver. Right-footed ball swept inside the penalty area. Overhit for the 2 Chelsea players who made near-post runs. And Newcastle on the counter-attack might be able to break with Wilson. Now Wilson making his way forward. He's got 2 to try and beat. He got past the first. Oh, and the second. And puts it in. It's a terrible mistake by Badiashile. Newcastle strike first. Ecstasy in the away end. Callum Wilson on his 100th appearance for Newcastle scores goal number 46. It might be one of immense significance. Chelsea 0, Newcastle 1.
Well, it looks as though Chelsea got numbers back to deal with it. Credit to Wilson, though. He got turned, he drove at the back line of Chelsea and asked questions of Silva. He got past Silva with a couple of bobbles, but Badiashile got round behind him, looked as though he'd mopped up the problem, got his feet tangled up and presented the ball straight back to Wilson, who said, "Thank you very much, 1-0.
Well, when there are 2 centre-halves coming across the cover in front of you, realistically, you're not going to expect to be able to find a way through. He got past Thiago Silva. I think Thiago Silva necessarily led him past, but he knew that Badiashile was such an overwhelming favourite to be able to mop up in behind him. It wasn't a problem at that stage, but he just couldn't get his feet adjusted, and the young Frenchman lost out. And then Wilson still with work to do as Petrovic came off his line, but he scooped it with the outside of the right boot across the face of the goalkeeper and into the bottom left-hand corner. An excellent finish from Wilson, who's now scored in 5 of his last 7 starts. He did lose the League Cup quarter-final on this ground with Bournemouth. In fact, he lost a couple of them, but he might have provided the foundation for Newcastle in a League Cup quarter-final here tonight. It's Chelsea 0, Newcastle 1.
When you look at this goal from start to finish, Colwell's pass backwards was awful. He took out, in fact, he fed Wilson. Wilson run for him on the halfway line, drove at both centre halves. They got in a terrible pickle, and you've got to say, what a beautiful finish outside of the right foot into the far corner.
Caicedo with a straight ball that is easily claimed by De Braca. They have a pretty poor away record, certainly domestically. That hasn't been the case in Europe, where they got a draw at PSG when they, of course, deserved more. Got a draw at Milan in that Champions League campaign as well. They had a very impressive League Cup win at Manchester United in the last round, but away from home in the Premier League, they got the worst record outside the bottom four. They lead here at Stamford Bridge by a goal to nil on TalkSport. Badiashile, whose heart will still be beating pretty quickly. Back for Thiago Silva, who won 11 domestic cup competitions in his PSG days, 6 League Cups and 5 French Cups. Ball played out towards Palmer. Palmer for Caicedo. Caicedo to Gallagher. And Gallagher working it back inside his own half. And just to reiterate the situation, I'm sure you're aware, no extra time in these League Cup ties. It will go straight to penalties if the score's a level after 90 minutes. It's Newcastle that have something tangible to protect after 20% of the game. And Thiago Silva's got it. Good ball forward from him. Chelsea have hit the bar, but trail. Forward towards Caicedo. Caicedo straight back for Thiago Silva. 6 yards inside the Newcastle United half. It comes down for Badiashile and out of Colwell.
We were talking in the press room about the quality of Bernardo Silva for Manchester City. Every pass he makes is perfection. The weight of it, the timing of it, the direction of it. I'm watching Chelsea in their build-up and everything else, and it's cost them a goal. The quality of the passing.
And now Newcastle coming forward again, and Wilson couldn't quite get it into the stride of Gordon. That wasn't the best pass either, because it was a really good situation as Newcastle had sprung Chelsea in midfield. They broke forward 2 against 2, but Wilson's pass left a little to be desired.
Exactly, it's those finite things that you have to brush up on, because that's a goal-scoring opportunity, but the pass wasn't good enough, and certainly Gordon, probably slightly behind him, didn't take it well enough either.
20 minutes gone. 1-0 to Newcastle. Long clearance from Petrovic, the Serbian goalkeeper who signed from New England Revolution in a £14 million deal over the summer. It's his second appearance for the club tonight. So Robert Sanchez was one of many on the injured list for Chelsea. Sterling, 4-time winner of this competition. Back for Gallagher. Now comes down towards Caicedo. And Caicedo goes back towards halfway for Badiashile. To Silva. Now to the Chelsea right-hand side again for Disasi. Gallagher able to pick it up. Longstaff comes to engage with him. He's playing on the left of the midfield 3 with Miley on the right. Newcastle happy for Chelsea to have the ball in the area where they are now. They're on halfway. They'll work it forward towards Sterling. And again, as it comes down towards Sterling, Almiron doesn't necessarily engage. He'll go over there, but he won't put a challenge in. He's happy for Chelsea to play the ball in that kind of area. Chelsea going backwards to come forwards again. Now we'll play down the right flank, and Disasi's got it. Disasi looking into the feet of Palmer, given away by Guy Moraes, so Palmer ended up with it. Caicedo to Colwell. Sterling is based to his left. He'll play him in now, again, with a poor quality ball. Went down towards the corner flag. Sterling able to keep it in. But the momentum had gone from the attack for a moment. Now Caicedo getting it forward. Enzo Fernandez trying a little flick, a little pirouette and nutmeg of Lascelles, which didn't come off. Chelsea bring it forward the next phase of plays. They look for this equalising goal. Down it comes for Colwell. Raheem Sterling, almost level with the edge of the Newcastle box in a wide position on the left. Working it back behind square. Challenge is coming in the Newcastle midfield, and Miley's won it back. Play forward now towards the goal scorer Wilson. Wilson playing it forward. Livramento almost there to nudge it past Thiago Silva. And it was a critical challenge from the 39-year-old to stop it getting through. Palmer does really well to keep the ball in on the right-hand touchline. Enzo Fernandez with a good turn. Getting away from Bruno Guimaraes. Poor defensive header from Botman. Cannon into Guimaraes and fell for Jackson. Now out towards Palmer. Palmer trying to get the ball onto his left foot for a shot. And diving down to his left, the Bradford can make a save at the foot of his near post.
Yeah, Chelsea have just got to brush up on their passing, you know, in general, right through the thirds. We saw it just then. Ball played out to Sterling, just overhit, and Sterling's got to readdress his movement, go out wide, retrieve the ball, and they're little things, but they mount up.
Lascelles forward into the feet of the dark-haired, thick-set Miley, 17 years old. He's as young as ever Premier League goal scorer after his goal of the weekend. Sterling's got it back for Chelsea and wins a corner with a driven ball that hit Crap and goes out of play for a Chelsea corner, their third of the game, which will be taken on the left-hand touchline.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Chelsea would have watched the game, I'm sure, of Newcastle playing away at Tottenham, and both full-backs got a bit of a roasting, I felt, certainly. Trips did, and he's on the bench tonight, but certainly the other side as well. I think Livramento was under pressure that day.
So the Chelsea corner will be taken on the left. It's Palmer that's gone over to take it. And works it short towards Sterling. Back for Palmer again. Palmer clipping it in, left-footed straight into the hands of Dubravka. It was a real waste of an opportunity as far as Newcastle are concerned. We'll go back round the grounds. First to Goodison, Everton, Fulham, Matt Jones.
And it's still Everton 0, Fulham 0. Fulham yet to have a shot in this game, but Everton have had one on target. Jared Branthwaite reaching a cross to the back post by Harrison, but his header was tame and Leno saved. It's Everton 0, Fulham 0.
And any sign of Port Vale fight back? At Vale Park, Ian Danton.
It is Port Vale 0, Middlesbrough 2, but Vale should be back in it. A cross from the left from Ethan Chislett across the face of goal, and Gavin Massey somehow contrived to steer the ball over the bar, right in front of goal, 3 yards out. It is Port Vale 0, Middlesbrough 2.
And 1-0 to Newcastle here, with Chelsea trying to get Jackson in inside the penalty area, and they couldn't quite manage it. Newcastle will be able to bring it away. Ball played down towards Almiron, beaten to it very well by Colwell, who read the situation. England international finding Sterling. Sterling back for Badiashile. Beaten by Wilson for the goal. Thiago Silva back for the Frenchman again. Turned down towards Colwell. Colwell and Badiashile just having their own individual game for a moment. They work forward into the feet of Caicedo and straight back again. One of the Chelsea players taking any kind of active forward responsibility here. Caicedo looking now, a cursory glance to see where Jackson was as he made the run between Lascelles and Botman, so that he couldn't pick him out. Chelsea working conservatively out towards the right flank, and then back he comes with Badiashile and down towards Colwell again.
Yeah, Chelsea building up here, Jim, but the quality of their passing, it's okay, but it's not perfection. And if you're going to break teams down, it's got to be perfection. You've got to pass the ball right way, right angle.
Sterling. Now Colwell has it. Back inside his own half is Badiashile. Badiashile to Thiago Silva. 25 minutes play. And Newcastle have had the lead for the last 10 of those, with a Callum Wilson goal, his first since he scored a couple away to Wolves back at the back end of October. Caicedo, forward towards Gallagher. Gallagher again in a central position for Chelsea. 20 yards outside the penalty area for Enzo Fernandez. Palmer on the stretch, and he couldn't get it through. And again, he was given no chance of being able to bring the ball under clean control, and Newcastle survive. There's been a goal at Goodison. Matt Jones.
41 minutes gone. I told you a few seconds ago that Fulham had a shot. Well, they now have. Well, actually, it's come off an Everton player. Robinson whips a ball into the box. It hits Michael Keane and drops past Pickford for an own goal. It's Everton 0, Fulham 1.
So Fulham ahead away from home, Newcastle ahead away from home, and Middlesbrough 2 up at Port Vale on the road. The 3 away sides all ahead so far on the Carabao Cup quarter-final night here on TalkSport. Game day exclusive returns this Saturday, incidentally. West Ham facing Manchester United at the London Stadium. Live coverage from 11 on Saturday ahead of a 12:30 kickoff. At 3, Newcastle back in action. They face Luton at Kenilworth Road. It's live and exclusive on TalkSport 2. Then the Toon hosts Forest on Boxing Day, and that's a 12:30 kickoff live here on TalkSport. Also Chelsea's next game here when Palace visit a week tomorrow on the 27th. Live and exclusive on TalkSport 2. So we've got your team covered over the festive period. Tonight, 18 minutes to go to half-time. It's Newcastle that lead. Chelsea are in possession. They've had the majority of it tonight. Fernandes has it. 15 yards inside his own half. Tries to chip one over the top, but the Sells covers the run, and Jackson has stumbled by Kraft. Meant that Chelsea were able to pick up the second ball with Sterling. Sterling, good little 1-2. He's inside the penalty area. Oh, he got it past the Brabka, but he went past the far post as well. Credit to the goalkeeper, who probably had it covered if he was going to creep inside that far post. Better from Chelsea. Out of play for a goal kick. Still, Newcastle lead.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Jim. I'm going to bemoan Chelsea. I don't think they've had the quality on their passing. Too many passes are just slightly off. And if they're slightly off, your teammate cannot take it in his stride. And that one as well. Sterling's done brilliantly to burst into the box. And I'm not sure whether it was a shot or a cross. If it's a shot, it needs to have some curl on it. If it's a cross, it needs to be pulled back a little bit further. It was half and half, in all honesty.
Yeah, Raheem, without a goal in his last 4 games, he's actually only scored in 5 of his last 31 Premier League matches. Goal for him tonight. Gallagher bringing it forward down the right-hand side of the area. Sterling, this might be his moment. Good save, the Brabka. Sterling's first touch took it wide of Botman. His second was a powerful shot. The Brabka saves it. Chelsea will come again as a clash on halfway involving Almiron. The referee's played the advantage. Colwell's down holding his head. The referee says play on. And Chelsea have possession. Making sure that Colwell is okay. Jackson very languidly working it back for Badiashile. Colwell is he's up on his feet. He's leaning over with his palms of his hands on his knees for a moment. I think he's going to be okay, and he's going to be able to continue.
Yeah, good play there by Chelsea. And as I said, with Sterling, just had his shot blocked in the 6-yard box. Probably the best opportunity Chelsea have had so far this game.
A goal back for Portsmouth in the EFL Trophy, scored by Cassini Yengiz, 7th of the season. But Portsmouth have only lost 2 of the last 38. Trail 3-1 at home to Wimbledon in the EFL Trophy. Incidentally, live on TalkSport 2 right now is the 4th T20 international between England and the West Indies. England off to a flyer, 84 without loss after 7 overs. And that's live on TalkSport 2 for you with our award-winning cricket team right now. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Down for Raheem Sterling. Sterling coming in off the left-hand touchline for Chelsea. He's got Fernandes in support. Chelsea looking to get themselves back into this game after Callum Wilson's goal. His 8th of the season on 16 minutes. Thiago Silva playing it out to the right for Disasi. Gordon comes across, forces Disasi to go back. And you can understand that the Chelsea selection tonight, and probably nothing else that Mauricio Pochettino could have done, but in playing a centre-half in the form of Disasi at right back, it does take some of the attacking impetus away, particularly down that side. Not a full-back that ever really fancies his chances of being able to necessarily beat a man. And Chelsea are going to be making a change in a moment, and Armando Broja is ready, and he'll be coming on. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how they're going to shuffle things around here. Half an hour on the clock. Chelsea 0, Newcastle 1.
Yeah, it was. And just going back to that last effort by Sterling, it was Gamirez who ended up getting back and making a fantastic block just in front of his goalkeeper.
Silva in possession for Chelsea inside his own half. Square to his left. Now Badiashile will play down towards Sterling. Sterling trying to take on Emil Kraft, can't beat him, goes out of play for a throw, and that will give Chelsea the opportunity to make this change. And it is Enzo Fernandez who's coming off. So Broja coming on, and Fernandez clearly some form of injury or other. He's able to leave the ground under his own steam and just chops over towards the touchline, but clearly it's a problem of some description. So he's off. And Armando Broja comes on to replace him, the Albanian international by way of Slough. Coming on and just has a quick word with Raheem Sterling. So I wonder whether they're going to go 2 up front here.
Well, it certainly looks that way where Broja's gone. I think that might cause Newcastle more of a problem. They're going to go 4-2-4 or 4-4-2 here, Jim?
Yeah, it's looking that way to start with. Brozier just giving a few instructions. Sterling coming into a more central area. Jackson peeling out towards the left. So maybe Sterling's going to play at 10 in behind the front two of Jackson and Brozier. Is he going out to the right? No, he's going out to the right now. They're going to move Palmer in one, and he'll play in a more central role. So it's going to be interesting to see how this develops as far as Chelsea is concerned. Almost 4-2-2-2 by the look of it, with 32 minutes on the clock and Newcastle leading 1-0.
Yeah, certainly looks that way. Maybe Sterling just slightly on the right, with Jackson just feeding out, just sort of tucked in on the left-hand side at present.
So goalkeeper Dubravka will take. We'll get half-time details from Goodison Park, where Fulham lead in a moment. A ball played over halfway and comes straight back again. Sterling's got it. Sterling doing well, inviting Guimaraes to make the challenge and plays it past him. Good 1-2 between him and the deeper line. Jackson, Sterling gets it again. Couldn't get the shot in. Goes to ground. The challenge from Lascelles. Referee says play on. There is no VAR here tonight. Sterling back to his feet and not huge number of complaints from it. Gallagher's got it now. Midway between the left-hand touchline and the left-hand side of the penalty area. Fitting it back for Sterling. Sterling clipping it in. It bounces once. Livramento coming across. Just nods it down. He's got plenty of time to be able to clear it. Right-footed forward towards halfway. And that familiar refrain of Chino from the Newcastle supporters is heard again. What an acquisition he has been for them from Southampton, who sold him for 10 times what they paid Chelsea for him, and he played less than 50 games for the club. He's a player whose stock really is very much on the rise. Back here on his old stomping ground tonight and on the winning side at the moment. Let's get those half-time details in from Goodison. Matt Jones.
Everton 0, Fulham 1 at the break. Everton have had the best of the game. They put multiple crosses into the box, but they've only had one shot on target, that coming from Branthwaite. His header saved. At the other end, Fulham haven't had a shot on target yet. They lead through an own goal. Robinson whipping across into the box from the left. It hit Michael Keane. Wrong-footed Pickford and went into the back of the net. It's Everton 0, Fulham 1 at the break.
Thank you, Matt. Here's Raheem Sterling with TalkSport. Just have 10 minutes to go to half-time. And Conor Gallagher has got possession inside the centre circle. Not for long. Lost out to Miley. Guimaraes trying to help it further forward, but Chelsea regain it on halfway, and Colwell will go back to his goalkeeper, Petrovic.
Yeah, Chelsea made a few entries so far into the 18-yard box, but at this moment failed to find a finish, and certainly anything that Newcastle haven't blocked. And once again, better Chile. I'm not sure what you are trying to achieve, young man, honestly. He's just so loose. He's cost his team a goal already. He's ended up passing a ball across the face of the 18-yard box and giving it away, and got away with that one once again.
Because Conor Gallagher got fouled. And he's back on his feet. He's okay, he's going to be able to continue. We'll get half-time details from Vale Park. Dance.
Port Vale 0, Middlesbrough 2 at the break. The Championship side heading to the semis. A deflected right-footed effort from Johnny Hassan on 12 minutes set them on their way. Rodgers made it 2-0 with a cool finish midway through the half. Vale had a brilliant chance to get back in it, but Massey steered the ball over the bar from right close in. Work to do for the Valiants in the second half. Championship side going through. Port Vale 0, Middlesbrough 2.
Almiron dispossessed by Caicedo. Thiago Silva able to bring it forward. Played out to the Chelsea right-hand side for Sterling. Sterling to Palmer, and no chance of being able to get on the return ball there. It was easily mopped up by Botman, who gets it back for Dubravka. It's another illustration of what you've been talking about.
It's so prevalent in Chelsea's play that there's not a slickness about their football, because players have to keep checking every now and then, Jim, to receive a ball that's slightly behind them, or having to take two touches because someone smashes a ball in them that's far too hard. There's no sympathy about, probably once in every 3 passes, there's no sympathy on the ball whatsoever.
Other than sorting that out, which I know sounds like other than that what the Romans ever done for us, but other than sorting that out, are you happy with the Chelsea game plan as a vehicle to be able to get back into the game? Tactically, if they got it right, it's just the executions before?
Yeah, I think so, because it lets them down. All of a sudden, from having an opportunity, Jim, where they might get an effort at goal, that effort breaks down and there's a counter-attack on potentially for Newcastle. So listen, it's fundamentals of the game. Give your mate the best possible pass you can, and Chelsea are failing to do that at the moment.
Oh, Guimaraes has just sent a beauty out of the Newcastle left. Gordon controlling it, corner of the box, working it onto his right foot, then a heavy touch. Gallagher slides in, wins it back, and Chelsea will break. Now Palmer, the man motoring forward, plays it for Breuer. I think he's offside. He is. Flags up, doesn't count, and he knew it. Just made his run a fraction too early, or the pass was a fraction too late, whichever way you look at it, but Chelsea get the ball in the net, doesn't count. Free kick for offside, and it's still 1-0 Newcastle.
Jim, I might have mentioned it earlier about the quality of passing and the weight of the passing. That was symptomatic of that. Palmer's driven forward. He's had 3 players up with him. He should be cutting inside and freeing space up for Sterling to go on the outside and trying to occupy a defender and committing a defender. He didn't either, and then Brocio's just run offside. Well, really, really poor.
I think you mentioned it once, but you might have got away with it.
Let's move on. I've made the point.
The ball is with Badia Shield. Go down towards his own corner flag. Controlling it, sweeps it forward, left-footed, and straight into Emil Kraft. Goes out of play for what's been given as a throw Chelsea's way, although the Newcastle players, Kraft and Almiron, were contesting the decision. Half-time details in the other cup ties tonight. Blackpool 1, Forest Green Rovers 0. Dale with an early goal there as Blackpool look to book their tie away at Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, who will certainly be managed by Nuno Espirito Santo. By then, Steve Cooper sacked today. Nuno, the hot favourite to take over. The other managerial changes today. Sutton sacking Matt Gray, and Steve Schumacher leaving Plymouth for Stoke. It's been a busy day on the managerial merry-go-round today. And also Portsmouth 1, Wimbledon 3 in the EFL Trophy. The winners of that one hosting Oxford in the next round in the second week of January. League Cup semi-finals, the first legs of those will also be the second week of January. You'll hear them on Talk Sport. Newcastle at the moment getting ever closer to a place in the semis for a second successive season. Leading by a goal to nil. Thiago Silva, possession for Chelsea. Sterling and towards the right-hand side for Disasi, and there's a shove from Sterling, and it's a free kick that will be taken on the left-hand side of the Newcastle United back line after the foul on Livramento. England have lost their first wicket in the cricket in Tarouba. Here's TalkSport's Andrew McKenna.
It is Joss Butler who's gone, caught on the long-on boundary by Rovman Powell off the bowling of Jason Holder. He made 55 from just 29 balls as England are 117 for 1 ball short of the halfway mark. Phil Salt is still there and going. He got to 50 from only 23 balls faced. Brilliant start by England so far, 117 for 1.
And that fourth T20 International is live for you right now over on Talk Sport 2. Back tomorrow on The Breakfast Show. Jeff Stang's been fantastic today and yesterday. Ali McCoyston, Andy Townsend with the baton tomorrow morning from 6. Stewart amongst their guests, reflecting on the evening's action and also the decision to change managers at Nottingham Forest. And also, if you remember, if you fancy something different on your morning commute tomorrow, you can check out the Chris Evans Breakfast Show weekdays from 6:30 on Virgin Radio, and you can get Virgin Radio on DAB or by downloading the app. Is Wilson working wide for Almiron inside the Chelsea penalty area. Pull back for a Guimaraes effort which was blocked. Gallagher's done some important defending in this game. Newcastle recycle it, win it back. Almiron trying to work it down the right-hand side of the area. It was a poor pass. He'll get a second bite of the cherry though. And that one will find Kraft. Kraft playing it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, knocked away by Silva. And he goes out of play for a throw.
Yeah, I don't think I've covered Chelsea live this season, but you can see why they're probably where they are in the division, to be honest with you. You know, they're talented players, good players, there's no doubt about that. But it's just brushing up on the little bit of technicality, the little bit of loose passing, the little bit of playing balls to your teammate that's going to put him into trouble, that's costing you.
And perhaps an inherent lack of confidence here. They have only won 4 of their last 18 matches here at Stamford Bridge against top-flight opposition. Longstaff trying to play it down towards Kraft, and Gallagher plays it off him. Out of play for a throw. which Chelsea will take just outside their own penalty area. 3 to go to half-time, probably 2 or 3 to be added on the back of that. But Chelsea with work to do here. Last League Cup meeting between these two was here in 2010. Newcastle won it 4-3 thanks to stoppage time goal from Shola Amiobi. It is their only League Cup victory over Chelsea. And Chelsea also beat Newcastle in the quarter-finals 17 years ago tomorrow, with Didier Drogba goal at St James's Park. It's a ground where Newcastle have had a lousy record in the recent past. They got a draw here last season that ended a run of 10 straight defeats on this ground. Got their noses in front here. Wilson, the goal scorer, has just fouled Colwell. Helps him back to his feet after disdainfully waving him up to start with. And Chelsea will take the free kick quickly and try and get it forward. Disasi and towards Sterling. Palmer's finding a little bit more space at times in this more central area that he's got now. He's played it down towards Colwell. Levi Colwell bringing it forward for Chelsea in their royal blue. Caicedo working it back inside the centre circle for Thiago Silva. Jackson making a run. Botman keeping a weather eye on him. Down for Colwell. Back towards Badiashile. Badiashile's ball forward towards Caicedo is poor. He'd love to get the first 45 minutes back, Benoit Badiashile. Flicks it back to his goalkeeper here. Petrovic out towards him again on the edge of the penalty area. That was very neat and tidy. He did well. Getting forward towards Colwell. Colwell getting away from Guimaraes. And he's played it down the left-hand side. Oh, Breuer, brilliant drop of the shoulder. And he left Guimaraes sprawling. Caicedo now. Palmer. Cole Palmer taking it on. Back to him from Caicedo. Palmer past the first challenge. Taken over by Breuer. Breuer plays the way that he's facing back for Colwell. Newcastle have got 10 back behind the ball, but haven't got the ball back. Palmer. Now Caicedo in a central area. Can't get himself into a shooting position. Flights the ball out towards Raheem Sterling on the Chelsea right. Sterling taking on Livramento, can get it in. Palmer arriving by the penalty spot. Longstaff did enough. Gallagher gets the shot in. Bit of pinball inside the box. Botman eventually digs it clear and finds halfway with his clearance.
Yeah, as I say, decent entry into the final third and into the box, but Newcastle managed to get enough players around the ball just to kill off any danger.
Here's Palmer. Now Conor Gallagher. Gallagher working his square. Palmer to Sterling. Sterling into the feet of Jackson. First touch, second touch. Third one was a shot that goes wide. Bar deflection. Just a surreptitious deflection on the way through, but enough to give Chelsea a corner, which will be their fourth of this first half. Darren England, the fourth official, has the numbers board in his hand and will indicate 3 additional minutes. We're in them now. With TalkSport, Newcastle lead at 1-0. Callum Wilson's goal half an hour ago. Gallagher again, unmarked, on the edge of the D, on the edge of the penalty area. Left-footed ball in towards the near post, headed away, might have gone into the hands of Dubravka. Longstaff didn't want to take any chances. High across comes in the second time of asking. He's headed over the bar by the off-balance Disasi. Out of play for Newcastle, goal kick, they lead it.
Yeah, Chelsea look to me as though they're a collection of very good players, but the technical side of the game in you know, looking after the ball, feeding your teammate in and giving him the absolute perfect ball you possibly can is lost on them slightly. And to be honest with you, playing out from the back, Badiashile's been a bit of a disaster this first half, hasn't he? He's cost them the goal. On top of that as well, there's been 2 or 3 other incidents where he could have here's another one, hang on.
He's got that one away, left-footed, hooking it forward, but only as far as Kraft. This is a game where, possession-wise, it's been 75-25 in Chelsea's favour. But that 75% possession has equated to 1 shot on target.
Yeah. And as I say, Newcastle look like the more threatening side when they do actually get the ball and do drive forward. And Chelsea have had the bulk of possession, as you rightly say, Jim, but just the technicalities of it have let them down, I think.
Thiago Silva. On a night when, as things stand right now, it'd be Fulham, Middlesbrough and Newcastle going through. They'll be joined by either Liverpool or West Ham tomorrow. We'll find out together. The 8 o'clock kickoff at Anfield here on Talk Sport tomorrow with Adrian again presenting. The ball is played down the Chelsea left. The touch a little bit heavy from Colwell. That just gave Kraft the opportunity to slide in and make the challenge. He played it off Colwell and out of play for a Newcastle throw. And Kraft was hurt in the process. Jackson thinks that he's making the most of it and tries to haul him back to his feet. Kraft is down, holding his right leg with his right arm, and is clearly in some distress. He's got a concerned armour on, leaning over him to see if he's okay. Newcastle medical staff ready to come on, but not given permission to do so as yet by the referee. Jackson is still not departing the scene. I don't know whether he's leaning over him in order to apologise in a moment, or whether he feels that there should be some more recriminations. Gallagher's in there and has got a placatory hand in the chest of his teammate, who's now being quietened down by Colwell. Jackson still hopping around and not happy, and now does depart. But clearly he feels that Kraft has made the most of that. Is okay, he's back on his feet. Play is going to resume. This was the last touch, so it is going to resume with a Chelsea throw. Taken short for Conor Gallagher, and the referee said, no, wait, I'm not ready. So it'll now be taken again. Colwell taking this one back towards halfway for Benoit Badiashile. Badiashile to Thiago Silva inside the centre circle. Long right-footed ball for Bright, trying to get on the end of it. Couldn't scoop it over to Bravka. Has just side-footed a volley into the chest of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, fantastic ball there by Silva, and Breuer's gone in, burst into the box, opened his body up and side-footed it so gently into the goalkeeper's hands. I think he's just been adjudged offside though.
Oh, he scored at Fulham. Had that horrendous ACL injury which kept him out for 10 months, Armando Broja. He's started 3 games this season on as a early substitute for Enzo Fernandez tonight. 4 minutes of stoppage time played. Chelsea in possession inside their own half. Ball work forward towards Sterling. Sterling doing well to hold it up under duress from Livramento, and he scoops it off to his left-hand side the way that he was facing. Newcastle win it back, but have given a free kick away that there'll be no time to take. The half-time whistle goes. Chelsea with all of the play, so much possession, and a discernible lack of quality, particularly with some of the simple passing going on. A couple of epic defensive errors have cost them as well. Badiashile's not had a first 45 minutes to remember, and his error led to Callum Wilson's goal 16 minutes in. It's a lead Newcastle have defended pretty comfortably since. At the break, Chelsea 0, Newcastle 1.
So Newcastle lead here in the other Carabao Cup quarter-final tonight. Fulham 1 up at Everton. The second half getting underway. Middlesbrough 2-0 up at Paul Vale. Excuse me, second half getting underway there as well. Blackpool leading Forest Green 1-0 in the FA Cup second round. Bristol Street Motors Trophy, Pompey 1, AFC Wimbledon 3. Pompey did make 9 changes to the side that went 7 points clear at the top of League One on Saturday. But let's talk about this game, Stuart Pearce. This fella, Badiashile, he puts the bad into Badiashile, doesn't he? He's had a terrible first half.
Yeah, he's had a really poor game, to be fair to him. He's cost the goal. His passing out from the back has been very erratic. He's given the ball away, which is highlighted another couple of semi-chances for Newcastle. But I think right through Chelsea's team, there's a lack of quality in their passing, an appreciation of passing that's really costly to the team, and they might not realise it when they're out on the pitch, but it's stopping them creating clear-cut chances.
It's interesting the makeup of their back four, because they've got centre halves at full back. They've got an issue with full-backs. James is out, Chilwell's out, so we get that. But there are full-backs. Matson's a left-back possibly on the bench for them. Might be more of a left wing back, I don't know, but Gusto could play full-back as well. But he's choosing to play centre halves there, which means Badiashile is playing at centre half. It's a problem Chelsea have to resolve. latest from Andrew McKenna.
England have just lost their second wicket. Will Jacks has been dismissed. LBW by Akhil Hussain for 24 from just 9 balls. England 173 for 2. We're only in the 14th over. Phil Salt has played an amazing innings so far. 93 not out from just 44 balls faced. England's highest score in T20 cricket is 241. At current rate against this West Indies side, they're looking at a total of 265. England have got a massive score in the offing here. Liam Livingstone's the man walking out. We're only in the 14th over, 173 for 2.
And that's live on TalkSport 2. To get TalkSport 2, just download the TalkSport app for free. It's easy to use. You can swipe between TalkSport and TalkSport 2. There's all sorts of other stuff on there. There's a selection of award-winning podcasts on there. A whole list of the live commentary is coming up, including all 10 Premier League games over the Christmas period. They're live and exclusive on TalkSport, some only available to listen to on the TalkSport app as well. Also, the schedules are on there, what's coming up program-wise over Christmas, and you can listen back to old programs as well. There's also the Clips of the Week podcast on there as well. Some brilliant ones from H&J, superb stuff. The latest scores then, Carabao Cup quarter-finals, Fulham 1 up at Everton, Middlesbrough 3-0 up at Port Vale. Here it's half-time, Chelsea 0, Newcastle 1. Elsewhere, FA Cup second round, Blackpool 1, Forest Green 0. Blackpool will be away to Forest in round 3 if they hold on to that. Bristol Street Motors Trophy, Pompey 1, Wimbledon 4, the Dons heading for a home tie with Oxford in the round of 16. National League North, Banbury 1, Chorley 3. Chorley win, they could go third. Gloucester City in the relegation zone are leading Curzon Ashton in the playoff places by a goal to 0. And National League South, Slough Town 1, Hemel Hempstead Town 0. The other 2 games in that division were postponed tonight. We'll be at Anfield for tomorrow's fourth and final quarter-final as Liverpool face West Ham United. The draw obviously means an EFL side will definitely be in the semis. Port Vale 0, Middlesbrough 3 is the latest score in the Carabao Cup quarter-finals, and Fulham leading at Everton. In fact, Fulham's only away win in the Premier League this season has been at Everton. That was day 1 of the season. And of course, they're leading there again, despite Everton having 4 straight Premier League wins and 4 straight clean sheets as well. Stuart Pearce, as we wait for the players to come out for the second half, other than improve your passing, what's Mauricio Pochettino saying to his team?
Well, firstly, let's not try and give Newcastle another goal, otherwise that'll finish the game for us. Secondly, we've had plenty of the ball, we've had opportunities in their final third. Just brush up a little bit and just tidy up and just think to yourself when you pass the ball to a teammate, how would I want to receive it? And they'll have opportunities, I think, in the second half, there's no doubt about that. But what they can't afford to do is cede another goal that's going to be their mistake.
Well, they've had a lot of opportunities already. Conor Gallagher's hit the woodwork with a decent shot curler from the edge of the box. Raheem Sterling poked wide when we thought it might be a cross, it might be a shot, not sure what it was. Bruno Guimaraes put his body on the line, blocking a shot that was goal-bound as well. Armando Broja had the ball in the net. He was flagged offside, and audaciously he wagged his finger at the linesman. He's 22 years old, wagged his finger at the linesman. He was clearly offside. Now, is that his fault, the run, or the fault of the teammate playing pass?
I thought Cole Palmer should have drove inside a bit more to commit the defender, to roll it to Sterling, who was on his outside. I thought that was the pass. I'm not sure why he's played Broja in. Broja's run was poor. Listen, symptomatic, there's 2 or 3 people that didn't get it right on that attack alone. So, why you wag your finger when you're clearly offside? I think that's a bookable offence, wagging your finger if you're clearly offside. It's ridiculous.
I think the lino should be allowed to go up to him and wag his finger in his face.
That would be fair.
I think so.
Yeah,
He's
totally fair.
As well. I think with Bruno Guimaraes, what I really loved about that, when he made that block, put his body on the line, made sure the ball didn't go in the back of the net, he turned around to Newcastle fans behind the goal and roared at them with all of the soul of his body. It means so much to him that the fans really love him at Newcastle.
It's true that they're the defining moments that might get you through in a cup tie that's very, very tight. If Chelsea hit the back of the net, then it's 1-1, and Chelsea look like the side. Well, they've certainly had more of the play, and they've not just had enough to sort of go and kill Newcastle off in any way, shape or form. But Great play by Guimaraes.
Portsmouth 2 now, Wimbledon 4, Gavin White on 58, so still time there. What a game that is in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. Carabao Cup, as it stands, Fulham are heading through. Middlesbrough going through as well. Here, Newcastle lead by a goal to nil, second half about to get underway. Live on TalkSport with double League Cup winning captain Stuart Pearce alongside your commentator on TalkSport, Jim Proudfoot.
And 3 changes made at half-time. Chelsea brought on Malo Gusto for Colwell. Newcastle have brought on Trippier for Kraft, and Byrne at centre-half for Botman. So the plan may well have been only to give Sven Botman 45 minutes anyway as he makes his way back from injury. Dan Byrne on to replace him at half-time, and he is playing at centre-half. All 3 of those changes straight swaps in their respective positions. Chelsea on the front foot right from the off in this second half, immediately have a free kick, which will be taken level with the edge of the Newcastle penalty area. An opportunity to load that box. Silva standing by the penalty spot. Disasi is in there with him. Waiting on the edge of the penalty area, Badiashile. Conor Gallagher standing over it. An opportunity for Chelsea to swing this inside the penalty area. Test Newcastle's defensive resolve. In towards the near post. It went for a little near post flick, which wasn't forthcoming. It hit Wilson. Cannons back outside the penalty area. High ball in from Sterling. And Dubravka got the shout from Lascelles to leave it and goes over his head out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by Martin Dubravka away to the right-hand side. Well, Newcastle leading, and there haven't been too many undue alarms. But what will Eddie Howe have made of the opening 45 minutes, bearing in mind that his side have only had 26% possession and only 3 attempts?
Well, I think the possession count won't worry him in the slightest. He'll see that he's got opportunities. I think they've pressed quite well. They'll have opportunities on the turnover to counter-attack and do quite well. I think maybe Kraft coming off might have been that injury just before a blow on the leg that might be a problem there, and probably Colwell as well got a bang on the head, didn't he? So whether those were unforced substitutions or not, I don't know. But from Eddie's point of view, I think he'll be quite happy with the way the game's gone. They got their nose in front at the moment, and Chelsea don't look to me as though they've got real cutting edge.
Amaron's got it. Goes back for Kieran Trippier, who missed the weekend league match because of suspension. Probably wouldn't have made the cut anyway because he was carrying an injury. That's why not in the starting lineup tonight. Cole Palmer almost showing too much of that to Miley in the midfield. It'll be played forward down in front of us by Disasi for Amanda Breuer. And then Palmer flicking it straight at Miley. The ball does end up at the feet of Breuer. Then Sterling tried to protect the ball and lend it back for Breuer. Newcastle win it back. Gordon looking to angle the ball over the top for Wilson's run. And all a little bit scrappy at the beginning of the second half. He goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Chelsea right-hand side. They've got Petrovic in goal. Disasi, Silva, Badiashile and Gusto, the back 4. But Gusto has started a game for Chelsea this season. Has always been on the right. He hasn't started a game at left back, but that's the role that he's in now. And then they've got Caicedo, Gallagher, Palmer, and then Jackson, Sterling and Breuer, the front 3. With the Newcastle side at the moment. Breuer has it right-hand side of the penalty area with Sterling behind him. Sterling making a darting run and then checks and comes back. The ball slows down almost to a stop for a moment. Caicedo working it forward. Sliding challenge comes in from Almiron. Palmer will still be able to get it, and he wins the first corner of the second half. The left-footed shot that takes a deflection and spins one.
Yeah, I think going back to Chelsea's substitution, maybe if it wasn't an injury for Colwell, I'd have been tempted to put Colwell at the heart of the defence, bring off Badiashile and keep the same fullback in.
Chelsea corner, their 5th of the game. Work short, Gallagher to Palmer. Here's Gusto now. Back out of the Chelsea left-hand side for Palmer. Jackson, this is better from them. Gallagher and Livramento is there to knock it away, and the counter-attack could be... Counter-attack looked as though it was going to be on, and Gordon has pulled up. Just for a moment, Well, it looks as though he's going to be okay and able to continue. I thought in chasing that, he just pulled up, wasn't a sort of fully fledged pull up as if his hamstring had popped or anything, but it just looked as though he could tail his run. That said, keeping a close eye on him now, he's trotted back into position. He hasn't looked over to the bench, and seemingly he is okay. Silva playing it forward. Sliding challenge comes in. Newcastle working it forward again. I'm not convinced he's right, though. Anthony Gordon is looking down disdainfully now. He couldn't really make a run to join that attack, but he's labouring on for the time being. Now he's trying to go up through the gears to come back and get goal side. Chelsea have it with Disasi. Newcastle are going to have to make a change. Gordon is sitting down on the deck now, and he's not going to be able to continue. And the injury curse has struck again. Matt Ritchie getting ready, and he'll be on to replace him in a moment. Newcastle didn't have bad luck with injuries. They have no luck at all. It's just been a horrendous time of it. And Anthony Gordon, the latest, seemingly. It's not up to Chelsea to stop play here. They're in possession, and no need for the referee to stop it either. Caicedo sportingly puts the ball out of play because Gordon is on the deck and unable to continue. Wilson goes across and shakes him by the hand. Good sporting play, no need to do it, and the crowd are letting him know that, but Gordon will make way and Ritchie's going to come on to replace him.
Yeah, this is a big blow for Newcastle going forward. Taking this a muscular injury. Would you suspect there, as you say, he tried to burst, and Jackson, well, put the afterburners on, didn't he, and just run away from him in the incident.
So at the moment, no Tonali, no Pope, Jacob Murphy, or Isaac or Anderson or Barnes or Willock or Cher or Manquillo or Jolinton or Target, and now no Gordon for the remainder of this game. Newcastle fans will be desperately hoping that that isn't anything severe with the very busy festive period coming up. They've got Luton away next and Forest at home after that. You'll hear both of those games on the TalkSport network. Then Liverpool away, Sunderland away in the FA Cup, which will also bring you live on TalkSport the first Saturday lunchtime of the new year, and Manchester City at home after that. And then they go to Villa, who could be top of the table at the time. So it's a hectic programme, packed full of big games for Newcastle. I just wonder how many of those Anthony Gordon's going to be able to play. And Matt Ritchie's come on to replace him. Chelsea will work it forward down the left flank with Jackson. Jackson faced up with the two centre-halves, just trying to tease him inside the area for the runner Gallagher, who's ever willing to try and get there, but it's been an enduring theme of the game that the quality of the pass has not been what's been required. There's another illustration there, and Newcastle are able to easily bring it away.
Yeah, just looking back there on the incident that probably put pay to Gordon, I think he was just sort of someone's trodden his ankle as he was sprinting, and I think that's what's caused the problem there, Jim.
Well, you'd rather that than a muscular injury, I would imagine.
Indeed you would. Yes, you certainly would.
So Newcastle lining up now. Dubravka in goal, Trippier at right back, Lascelles and Byrne at centre half, and Livramento at left back. Lewis Smiley, Guimaraes and Longstaff in midfield, and a front three of Almiron, Wilson and Ritchie. That's how they're lining up for this second half. Ritchie off the bench in each of the last 7 Premier League games. It did start the famous win against Manchester United in the League Cup. Now, Newcastle haven't conceded a goal in this competition so far this season. Manchester City 1-0, Man United 3-0. They lead 1-0 at Chelsea with 53 minutes gone here on TalkSport. Jim Bradford and Stuart Pearce talking through the action from Stamford Bridge. It's an increasingly restless Stamford Bridge as well. Haven't won their last 2 games here at Chelsea, beating Brighton and Sheffield United, but as I mentioned earlier, they've only won 4 of the last 18 home games against top-flight opposition. If they were to lose at home to Palace in their final home game of the year, it will be a 9th home league defeat of the calendar year, which is their worst run since 1986. Gallagher in possession. He goes in field for Moises Caicedo. Chelsea themselves have lost Enzo Fernandez in this game so far. Thiago Silva angling a long ball out towards the Chelsea left-hand side, where it's brought into play by Breuer, gets to the left-hand side of the penalty area, can't find a way through. looking for a penalty that was never going to be given. Newcastle players converging on him. Gusto with a lovely turn. The crowd enjoyed that. He's used the ball well as well. Breuer inside the area. Shot on the turn from Jackson. And he's put it wide.
Well, Brozier's done really well there, just turning the ball round the corner to Jackson. And Jackson pirouetted, he's turned almost 360 on the ball and done probably the hardest thing in the world to do, receive it, and still missed the near post with a total pirouette.
Well, he's the leading scorer this season, Jackson. He's got 8. Hat-trick at Spurs, of course, 5 in his last 7 Premier League games, and he also netted the winner against Brighton in the 3rd round of this competition, but still a sense that best days are yet to come. He's got it again now. He's got options to his right, including Sterling. Saved by Dubravka, diving to his right. It's come off his body, squirts out of the right side of the area. Trippier clears it. Headed back by Silva. All of a sudden, the crowd are infused by what they're seeing. Something to give them more tangible hope that they can get themselves back into this game. That wasn't the best ball in from Cole Palmer. Thiago Silva ends up with the ball at his feet. Right footing, flick forward inside the area. Gusto is offside as he volleyed it back in. He has been able to get forward much more than Colwell did before him down the left flank. So a little bit more attacking threat from Chelsea in this second half, which is 11 minutes old. Newcastle still leading 1-0.
Yeah, they definitely need that outlet on the left-hand side from Gusto. And once again, another beautiful pass there by Silva. Big, long, raking diagonally, straight ball in behind, but the run was just too early.
Turn back the years, Thiago Silva. Let's go to Goodison. Everton trying to get themselves back into it. Matt Jones.
It's still Everton 0, Fulham 1. They've thrown the likes of Beto and Danjuma on the field, but they're still not getting the final ball right. Plenty of crosses, no one on the end of them. Fulham are defending deep, but are at the moment heading to the semi-final. It's Everton 0, Fulham 1.
And Middlesbrough coasting in the Potteries, Ian Danter.
20 minutes to go. It is Port Vale 0, Middlesbrough 3. 2 goals in the first half, 1 in the second. Borough firmly in control, and to make matters worse for Vale, young England youth international Ollie Arblaster stretched it off midway through the second half. 20 to go. Port Vale 0, Middlesbrough 3.
And this one with 35 to go. Chelsea 0, Newcastle 1. Here on TalkSport, and also very good afternoon to our listeners across the United States of America on Sirius XM FC. I hope that you're enjoying our coverage from West London tonight. Newcastle leading 1-0. Ball out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken by Petrovic. Away to our left, spotting the ball down on the edge of the 6-yard box and preparing to drive it upfield. Cup coverage of Chelsea against Newcastle will be followed by your chance to react to everything that has happened tonight. Adam Cattrall and Carlton Cole taking your calls on the sports bar from 10 o'clock. 03717 223344, the number. You can have your say on national radio. As things stand right now, it'll be Chelsea being eliminated, making a better fist of it in the second half though, with Palmer in possession and playing it through the centre circle for Gallagher. Gallagher driving towards the edge of the box. Couldn't find Jackson when he should have made a much better fist of it. And Dubravka's able to come out and gratefully gather and get Newcastle going again.
Yeah, the Chelsea attack all come from a pass for Livramento, and Thiago Silva's gone to the ground, and Livramento's dangled the leg.
Now Gallagher's judged to have fouled Guy Moraes when most of the crowd thought he didn't. And it's a free kick that Newcastle will take 15 outside their own box.
Yeah, we're just saying Livramento there dangling a leg. He really should go in a touch more full-blooded than that. Puts himself out the game, and from that moment on Chelsea sniffed the opportunity of a counter-attack.
A second goal for Blackpool in their FA Cup tie. They're looking good. Seeing off Forest Green tonight to earn a tie at Forest in round 3. Blackpool 2, Forest Green 0. And it's the defender Jordan Lawrence Gabriel that has scored the second goal for the Tangerines. Newcastle would love a second goal here just to give themselves a little bit of insurance. On the ground, as we mentioned earlier, they got an abject record. Eddie Howe also has lost a couple of League Cup quarter-finals here in the past as a Bournemouth manager. Revenge will be really sweet for him tonight if Newcastle can hold on. Dubravka coming outside the penalty area. And volleys a ball out towards Livramento, who can continue his run. Then play it into the feet of Wilson. One back by Caicedo inside the centre circle. Gallagher to his left for Malo Gusto. And Gusto taking it out towards the left-hand touchline as the hour mark comes up. Callum Wilson's goal in the 16th minute. We're in the 60th with that's still the most important moment of the night so far. Gallagher, forward towards Sterling. Knocked away by Lascelles, who just limped away from that for a moment, but he's all right, he's able to continue. Sterling has it again now. He's 10 yards aside the Newcastle half as he goes back for Badiashile. Thiago Silva down towards Cole Palmer. Palmer coming in up the right flank, back for Thiago Silva again. And you're effusive in your praise of Palmer earlier. Stuart, before the game starts, has not had one of his best nights in a blue shirt as yet. A lot of that due to the fact that Chelsea haven't really been able to get him into the game. As Petrovic just had a few nerves jangling for a moment as he played it forward towards Caicedo on the edge of his own penalty area. He was fouled and Chelsea get a free kick and they've taken it quickly. I'll get your views on Palmer in a moment because Chelsea are on the front foot now with Sterling. Sterling dropping his shoulder, getting past the second challenge. Groyer, right-hand side of the box, back for Cole Palmer. Palmer rolling his studs over the top of the ball to get it away from the back-tracking Livramento. Gallagher's got it now. Out towards the right flank for Axel Disasi. Gallagher with time to control it. Rolls it forward. Disasi takes a touch. Flashes it across the 6-yard box. But Dubravka's handling is good. He collapses onto the ball and make sure it doesn't spill out of his grasp at the feet of Palmer.
Yeah, just going back to Palmer, as I say, he's not been fed with the ball. He's not had a decent build-up to get the ball into him as much as he would like in this game, that is for sure. But you're right in what you're saying. He's not had a great deal of impact. But then again, there's very few Chelsea players in a game where they've had the ascendancy of possession that have really caught the eye and thought, yeah, he's done really well tonight. You know, Gallagher probably with just his energy has done that.
28 to go. Newcastle United have only reached 2 League Cup semi-finals in 48 years. One of those back just before the long hot summer of 1976, the other last season. Are they going to be able to make it? League Cup semi-finals in back-to-back years. Chelsea will have something to say about it, although Roy's caught offside here. And it's a free kick to Newcastle on the edge of the box. That gives us an opportunity to get news of another wicket in the cricket. Andrew McKenna.
246 for 3 are England with 9 balls at the innings to go. Phil Salt, the man dismissed for 119 from just 57 balls. That is England's highest individual score, and it's also their highest total with 9 balls to go. 246 for 3.
Very impressive England performance, and of course you're quite sure until both sides have had a bat, but that looks as though it has the potential to be an unassailable target there. And the cricket continues live over on Talk Sport 2. As Macca said, it is England's highest ever T20 score. Sterling for Chelsea. Play forward towards Jackson. Jackson trying to roll the cells. Backheel flick. Royer couldn't take over. Guy Moraes did really well. Read the situation. Tracked back. Got him behind his centre halves. And was able to play his way out from the back to clear. Then Ritchie's lost possession, but only for a moment. Guy Moraes has it again. Taking control for Newcastle in the heart of the midfield. He's gone the wrong way for a moment. And ultimately, he thought he'd won a throw. Assistant referee, Darren Cann, one of the very best there is, thought otherwise and has given it Chelsea's way. 10 yards from the corner flag as they attack down the right. Throw taken by Disasi, back for Thiago Silva. Silva with wonderful range of passing that we've seen exhibited on 2 or 3 occasions tonight. He's playing it safer here for Palmer. Palmer just dropping that a little bit deeper. Into the feet of Jackson. Jackson to Gallagher. Gallagher winning it back after it looked as though the ball was going to squirm away. Caicedo now down towards the Chelsea right. Palmer angling inside the box. And it's Lascelles who's there to dig it clear with a left-footed half volley. Only as far as Caicedo. Sterling near the corner of the penalty area as he takes over. Back he goes for Malo Gusto. Gusto dropping the shoulder. Doesn't get a cross in. Might be able to now. Right-footed ball delivered. Gallagher going up for it. It's come off him rather than being headed by him. Palmer trying to control it on the edge of the box. And And Guy Moraes has had a hammer it clear towards halfway, but it's been better from Chelsea.
It has, and I've got a feeling, Jim, that this game ain't going to finish 1-0. There'll be an equaliser in it, or alternatively Newcastle will get the second to put the game to bed, but I can't see it staying as is.
Badiashile inside the centre circle. Now venturing forward, down towards the right-hand side. Dizassi's got it. And Dizassi getting it away from Miley. Newcastle still very regimented and disciplined behind the ball. Out he goes to the left-hand side for Thiago Silva. He's played it down towards the left flank for Malo Gusto. News of an Everton equaliser in a moment as Chelsea look for one of their own. Sterling to Badiashile, to Dizassi. Dizassi near the corner of the penalty area. Square ball from him to Gallagher. Still Newcastle preventing Chelsea being able to play the ball inside their box. And they work it back towards halfway, so let's get news of that goal from Matt Jones.
We could be heading to penalties here. It's Everton 1, Fulham 1. Beto is the man who's got it. Danjuma flashes across into the box. It deflects back to Idrissa Gueye near the penalty spot. His shot is deflected. It loops up for Beto, and he heads home. Everton 1, Fulham 1.
Beto, who made his Everton debut in this competition at Doncaster back in round 2. He scored his 3rd goal for the club. Everton 1, Fulham 1. He scored that night in South Yorkshire as well. And Everton looking for a 5th straight win. They lost 2 quarter-finals in the last 4 years, but that one looks as though it's going to be heading for penalties. No extra time in these ties. It'll be straight to penalties. They're 7 minutes away from a shootout there. A little bit of action on the Chelsea bench. We're going to see some introductions very shortly. Meanwhile, with 66 gone, to approach the midway stage of this second half, it's still 1-0 to Newcastle United.
Yeah, it is, and Newcastle camped in their own half really at the moment, and Chelsea are just plenty of the ball, just waiting to find that pass to open things up, and at the moment it's not forthcoming.
Palmer playing it forward. Gallagher snatched at that and drove it well wide across the face of goal, and had a play for a goal kick that'll be taken by Martin Dubravka away to our right. When you bear in mind the injuries that Newcastle have suffered, they've done very well to hang in there over the course of the last few weeks, haven't they?
Well, they certainly have. As I say, they've set their standards so high as a football club over this last year or a couple of years. The players that have come in, they've got a decent squad of players, but certainly when you suffer that many injuries to key players, it is tough.
Sterling back inside his own half, and then they're getting the ball back again. Caicedo on the stretch goes back for Badiashile. Scored against Blackburn in the 4th round, has played a major part in the goal tonight. Well, Marvin Ekpiteta has got a 3rd as Blackpool lead Forest Green 3-0 with 5 minutes to go there, going through, and they'll be in the 3rd round of the FA Cup away at Nottingham Forest in early January. Cole Palmer out towards the touchline for Dizassi. Now Thiago Silva bringing it forward. Silva, who's 3 months past his 39th birthday. Appetite for the game undimmed. Sterling trying to find Breuer. It was Livramento who was able to cut it out. Good 1-2 between him and Miley, and Livramento will take it on. Silva comes across, stops him getting too far. There goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Newcastle United left, and they can make a change, and here he is. They've waited a long time for this moment, but Christopher Nkunku can finally make his Chelsea debut. The £52 million signing from Leipzig, who's been out of the game for 6 months because of a knee problem. Last appearance in the German Cup final when he scored, and he comes on for the final quarter of the game, charged with trying to get Chelsea towards another cup final. And Nkunku on for his Blues debut with just over 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, and they'll need someone to give them a bit of a lift and inspire them if they're going to get back into the game.
Newcastle taking a throw, chested down by Dizassi. Gallagher, anyway by Badiashile and then Caicedo. As the ball is played forward over the top, the referee gives the free kick against Wilson. There's an angry reaction from him as well towards Jared Gillett for the free kick being given.
He's given the free kick because when the ball's gone over Wilson's head, he's looked solely at the Chelsea defender instead of the ball and run at him. Now, I'm not sure aggressive staring is a free kick.
Good job it wasn't in your day. There's Palmer, played forward. And it's knocked away.
Not with my Ben Turpin cross eyes, you're right.
Now there's a cultural reference for the kids, isn't there? Ben Turpin. Look it up, boys and girls. It was an inverse Marty Feldman. There's another for you. The ball played over towards Gusto. And out of play for a throw to be taken on the Newcastle United right. So Chelsea now playing with Jackson having come off. They're playing with Broya through the middle. They're playing with Nkunku pretty much at 10. Palmer and Sterling supplying the width either side. Ball out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Newcastle United right. They lead 1-0 with 20 minutes to go. The England innings is over in the West Indies live on TalkSport 2. Andrew McKennigan, tell us exactly how high they got.
The small matter of 267 for 3, 19 fours, 19 sixes. Phil Salt with 119, Joss Butler 55, Liam Livingston 54 not out from just 21 balls faced. If England lose this one, fill in the rest yourself.
Macca, thank you very much indeed. It is going to be live on TalkSport 2, the West Indies response. Sterling's just picked up a yellow card for diving.
Yep, and rightly so. As I say, he's gone to take Trippier on, flicked it past him. Trippier's pulled away from the potential challenge, and the referee deemed that Raheem went down rather cheaply.
So Sterling in the book. It's his 5th yellow card of the season in all competitions. And the clock is ticking along very steadily. If you're a Newcastle fan, I'm sure it will feel as though it's going down pretty slowly. If you're a Chelsea fan, every time you look up, it will have gone on the pace. We've played 72 minutes. Chelsea 0, Newcastle 1. Still options on the bench for Chelsea of Mudryk, Maatsen, and then youngsters Gilchrist and Matos. Outfield options on the Newcastle bench: Dummett, Hall, and Alex Murphy. Sterling playing the ball back through the midfield for Gusto. Now it goes out to the Chelsea left-hand side where Nkunku is able to bring it on. Short sleeve shirt, dark black gloves. Nkunku making a darting run forward. Oh, he did really well. Gets the ball in the feet of Broya and almost got the return. Livramento made sure that he didn't. There was a 5-minute spell where Newcastle were really living on their nerves defensively. Chelsea storms abated somewhat, but that was a great judgment by Nkunku because the ball was thrashed into him there. There's another poor pass. He did so well just to control it, just leant into it really and almost got there with his buttocks down towards Broya. And then Palmer plays the ball forward behind Sterling, but Dubravka will be able to pick up inside his own penalty area. We've got 17 minutes to go. Still Chelsea 0, Newcastle United 1, as it's been for a long, long time now.
Yeah, it certainly is, and the longer the game's going on, the more it looks as though Chelsea won't break this stubborn Newcastle backline down.
Wimbledon go through in the EFL Trophy. They're 5-2 up away at Portsmouth with the time running out. Dubravka gets it away. Drilled for from him. Almiron controlling it on his chest, and now a chance for Newcastle to be able to bring the ball forward with Trippier. Trippier, who's knocked out of the Champions League on this ground a couple of years ago. And he's won a free kick. Newcastle won't be in any hurry to take it. We'll nip back to Goodison. Here's Matt Jones.
It's still Everton 1, Fulham 1. We've just entered 7 minutes of added time, and Everton have just had a great chance to go ahead. Dan Juma meeting the ball near the penalty spot, but flashing his volley just wide of the post. It's Everton 1, Fulham 1.
And we'll go to penalties if it stays that way through the remaining 6 minutes or so of stoppage time. The other one, Port Vale 0, Middlesbrough 3. In the last knockings in the Potteries, they got 2 minutes plus stoppage time to play in that, but that's been all over by the shouting for a long, long time. This one hanging in the balance as well. Chelsea 0, Newcastle United 1. And a free kick that Newcastle still haven't taken. They will now. Dima Reich down towards towards the Newcastle left, where the retreating Ritchie's been able to keep it in. Mudrik's going to be coming on for Chelsea in a moment. Newcastle with Livramento, who didn't make a senior appearance for Chelsea in his time here, but still left in a £4 million deal. He's lost it. Chelsea bringing it forward. Sterling. Here's Nkunku. Well, he should have been. Sterling's missed him from close range. Nkunku can control it, but had to go back outside the area to do so. More quality on that pass, and he had a shooting opportunity and a chance for a debut goal. That sums up the night from a Chelsea perspective. It's Thiago Silva. Down to the Chelsea right-hand side for Disasi. Back for Silva again. Silva, right-footed, driven in deep. Lascelles off the top of his head. Now to be volleyed away by Kieran Trippier from inside the penalty area. It'll be a double change for Chelsea the next time the ball goes out of play. Mudryk and Maatsen, both stripped and ready for action, numbers 29 and 10. Waiting for the shout to come on, which will be at the next break in play. 15 minutes to go. Gallagher. Back for Thiago Silva. Silva able to control it. Finding Badiashile. Caicedo. Silva. Disasi waiting on the right. Play forward again. Siki Moraes, and the bounces back inside the centre circle. Still not enough finesse or guile from a Chelsea perspective.
Well, as you said there with that pass from Raheem, that summed up Chelsea's evening tonight. You know, a lot of entries into the final third, but when you need a bit of quality, it's been missing.
Disasi is still continuing to probe. Newcastle still very much defending resolutely, protecting this clean sheet, which if they can protect to the end of the game will mean a spot in the League Cup semi-finals live on TalkSport in January. Sterling and Nkunku with a little 1-2 inside the penalty area. Sterling taking it on, Newcastle get it away. Sterling winning it back, and Nkunku's got it. And then will turn back towards Sterling. Newcastle got a player down, injured. He's back on his feet. Play goes on. Disasi near the edge of the box. Plays it back for Gallagher. Disasi has it again. Disasi turns it back to Thiago Silva. Silva forced to sweep the ball quickly away from Wilson for Badiashile. Caicedo clipping it right-footed. Down towards the Chelsea left. Gusto. Played back again. Nkunku making a run, trying to draw Lascelles with him and create space for Palmer to make a run into. Pass not forthcoming. Chelsea have still got it. Gallagher trying to pick up a fight ball on the edge of the penalty area, lost out. Newcastle with everybody back behind the ball. Wilson clears it, wins the throw. It is all hands to the defensive pump. Chelsea will still feel that just with a little bit more quality in front of goal, they can yet win this before it goes to penalties. So dominant they have been in terms of possession and territorial advantage. But the changes are going to be made. Sterling is coming off. He's going to be replaced by Mudryk. And we're also going to see Disasi off, replaced by Maatsen. That's Chelsea's last change.
Yeah, Disasi is basically playing as an advanced right back without any quality in the final third to put decent ball into the box. So you just as well pull him off. You could almost put an out-and-out winger there.
So Chelsea put Maatsen to left back, and
say, they've had plenty of pressure, they've had plenty of territory, but they've certainly not had too many corners. And it looks as though if Chelsea are going to get something, it'll be a deflection or an error from a Newcastle defender, and they don't look as though they're going to do either at the moment.
Corner fired in, left-footed, headed away by Lascelles. And Gallagher will bring it under control. He's found Mudryk, wearing 10 here for Chelsea. Left-footed ball swept in, that's far too hot. And the Bradford ducks underneath it, so it goes out of play. And a Chelsea fan at the Matthew Harding stand picked up the ball, and let's say he returned it to Dubravka as quickly as he possibly could, with as much ferocity as he possibly could. Dubravka just caught it and walked away. It has finished Portsmouth 2, Wimbledon 5 in the EFL Trophy. Big win for Wimbledon. They host Oxford in the next round, and the first wicket has gone down to the West Indies response in Trinidad. Here's Andrew McKenna.
From the very first ball, Jim, it was a wide, short ball from Moeen Ali, the Brandon Kings, under-edged, and managed to get it down to Reece Topley at short third man. West Indies 0 for 1 after one ball, trying to make 268.
Yeah, not the best possible start when you're chasing an enormous total. That penalty shootout underway at Goodison. Beto scored his for Everton. It's the only penalty that's been taken so far. We'll keep you up to date. 1-0 in this one to Newcastle with 4 minutes to go. Chelsea with Caicedo, can't afford to lose possession there, but the referee's whistle has come to his aid. Guimaraes did push him, and then Wilson has thrown himself theatrically to the floor. Has he been booked for that by Jarrod Gillett?
He has, yes.
Rightly so.
As I say, he's keeping the ball away from Caicedo, trying to waste a bit of time.
Just delaying the restart, so Callum Wilson in the book. Andres Pereira scored his penalty for Fulham, so 1-1. After a penalty apiece at Goodison. 1-0 to Newcastle here. 3.5 minutes of normal time remaining. Stoppage time probably, we reckon, about 5. Here's Thiago Silva. Silva under pressure from Guimaraes. Drops it off to his left-hand side for Maatsen. Now Mudryk with the blonde hair. Running with pace towards the edge of the area. Checks back inside. Ball swept in. Oh, diving header! Almost through his own goal from Livramento. In the end, he got enough on it to steer it past the far post and away from Gallagher. He knew that he had to play because Gusto was coming in, but boy, was his heart in his mouth for a moment.
Well, he's delaying and delaying in the hope, I think, to let the ball go and it go out. They decided he couldn't do that, and in the end, well...
In comes the corner as a result. It's flicked on at the near post, but bounces to safety for Newcastle. Outside the box, Cole Palmer playing it back in. Newcastle blocked that, and Miley should be able to get it away, and can. Dwight McNeil scored the next penalty. It's 2-on Everton, and Kearney's equalised. 2-2 after 2 penalties apiece in that shootout. 2 minutes to go. Gallagher bring it forward here for Chelsea, who trail 1-0. Now played down the right-hand touchline. Breuer is the script written for Christopher Nkunku here. He's got the ball at his feet, turning on the edge of the penalty area. 3 in black and white around him. Gallagher popped off to his left. He gets it back again, Conor Gallagher. Now it comes down towards Malo Gusto. Gusto not in a position to be able to deliver across. Livramento and Miley shuffling across. Miley looks shattered, but still giving everything for the cause. Maatsen played out towards Mudryk. Mudryk, he can't deliver across. It was well knocked away from him. Newcastle try and get it away. Wilson's the only out ball. They couldn't quite find him because he had 2 Chelsea defenders around him, so the Blues very quickly had possession back. And it's a throw that they'll take on halfway.
Yeah, the longer the game goes on, the more frustrated Pochettino down in the technical area looks. Just the frustration with the final pass is killing him, I think.
Pacing up and down across the edge of his technical area. Still waiting for the first miss in that shootout at Goodison Park. It's 3-3. Conor Gallagher bringing it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. And there's a push by him. No, referee says play on. Gallagher gets it back. Oh, goes down inside the area. Jarrod Gillett says no penalty. Livramento is the defender. Gallagher trying to get past him. And there was contact between the two of them. Gallagher going to ground. And went to ground pretty easily. He and Livramento know each other from the latter's Chelsea days. There was a grin on the face. No yellow card for Gallagher for a dive, but no real complaints.
Yeah, I don't think so, but I've got to say Livramento should have done a lot better then. He went to ground slightly before that, he got up, he sprung back into the box, and he's got to be a touch carefuler with his challenges in and around that area. But no penalty for me.
Just about to go into stoppage time. 1-0 to Newcastle. Long clearance from Dubravka. Well brought down by Wilson. Wilson getting it forward. Almiron, goal sign inside the penalty area. Left-footed shot straight into the hands of Petrovic, who balls it out quickly for Mudryk. We've got 4 minutes of added time to be played. Danjuma's given Everton a 4-3 lead in that shootout, where they're still waiting for the first miss at Goodison Park. This one won't be heading to penalties as it stands. Newcastle will be getting the job done in regulation time. Middlesbrough already through. Caicedo finding Conor Gallagher. Gallagher down towards Gusto, and he goes back for Gallagher again. Bobby deckled over Reed, has had a penalty saved by Pickford, and it's 4-3 to Everton. If they score the next one, they've won it. Gallagher down towards the Chelsea right for Gusto. Back for Gallagher again. Right-footed ball clipped inside the penalty area. Will go all the way through and will be cleared up the Newcastle United right towards halfway. Badiashile picking it up on halfway. 4 from him to Madsen. Madsen in the heart of the midfield for Chelsea. Down towards Thiago Silva. And Kunku making his way forward. Right-footed ball swept inside the box, takes touch, a poor defensive header! It's in from Mudryk! And in the second minute of stoppage time, Chelsea have thrown themselves a lifeline! Poor defensive header inside the box. It was a hopeful cross. Shocking defending. Mudryk seized upon it, drove it into the bottom right-hand corner. Chelsea have left it so late. But it's 1-1 with 2 minutes of stoppage time to go.
Well, the ball's been popped into the box, no danger whatsoever. It's bounced in front of Trippier, and he's tried to head it back to his goalkeeper, I believe. And it was going to take a mistake, certainly not a clever piece of play by Chelsea for them to come back in the game. Now, you never know, they've got half a chance of going on to win the game from here.
Oh, Trippier stretching. It's very high for him, just trying to cushion the header down, and Mudryk was in there in the blink of an eye, and it's 1-1. Horrible moment for Kieran Trippier, who has been a magnificent, integral part of Newcastle's rise over the 100 games of Eddie Howe, but he's had a couple of individual errors recently, and another big one tonight has cost him, and it's 1-1. Penalty shootout at Goodison is 4-4 after 5 penalties apiece. Andre Onana had the chance to win it for Everton and missed. Carlos Vinicius scored for Fulham. They're in sudden death there. And Tarkowski scores. It is 5-4 to Everton. And Fulham have to score to stay in it. Here we've got 2 minutes of stoppage time to go. And it's 1-1, and this one is now heading for penalties.
It is. I mean, this game, Jim, has basically been punctuated by 2 woeful errors by defenders, one from each team, and the game is in the balance now. The referee just come over to report a problem behind the goal. I think someone's come on the pitch and just give Dubravka a little tap, I think, as Chelsea hit the back of the net, a supporter.
Madsen. There's a chance for Chelsea to win this. Gallagher closed out quickly by Guy Moraes, and Gallagher stopped his progress. That'll be a yellow card for the Chelsea captain. And a free kick for Newcastle with what may well be the last play of the game. And they will try and flood the penalty area. Dan Burn has made his way forward. Kenny Tete scored the next penalty for Fulham in the shootout. So it's 5-5 after 6 penalties apiece. Mykhailo Mudryk equalising here in a game that Chelsea trailed for 76 minutes, but Destined to go to a shootout, it seems.
Well, if ever you're going to give anyone half a chance in the box, don't let it be Mudryk. His reaction, his pace off the mark was outstanding.
Newcastle take the free kick, get it forward as far as they can. Chelsea drop back, dealt with it, get it away. Out towards the far touchline for Mudryk. Oh, Mudryk has just been cleaned out there by Guimaraes, and a very angry reaction from Mudryk, who goes and clasps him round the neck. It was a really poor challenge from Bruno Guimaraes. Manchester stays on the deck. The Brazilian is booked. I just wonder whether there'll be sanctions against Mudryk for his reaction.
Well, I think there could be an upgrade on this. This was a wild swing, and I'm just waiting, hopefully, to see this once again. And it really was an absolute wild swing. And what you've got to do now is keep your head in a game like this.
Guimaraes booked as Mudryk is being spoken to as well by the referee. Bruno Guimaraes, had there been VAR for this game, I think they would have looked at that and would have upgraded it. I'm surprised that Jared Gillett hasn't produced a straight red for that.
Yeah, it was wild, it was a swing, and it's caught him sort of around the waist.
Apart from that, it was all right. Here's Gusto, down towards Cole Palmer. 6 minutes of stoppage time played, and there'll be no more penalties here. The penalty shootout still ongoing at Goodison Park. Matt Jones.
Having each team taken 7 penalties. It's Idrissa Gueye stepping up now, and he hits the post. And it's advantage Fulham. Fulham now know if they score, they're going through to the League Cup semi-finals for the first time in their history. And their players are celebrating on the halfway line. I'll run you through who has taken the penalties as we await the 8th for Fulham. Beto scored first for Everton. Pereira equalised for Fulham. McNeil, Kearney, Keane, Paulina, and then Danjuma all scored to make it 4-3 to Everton before Bobby Decordova-Reid missed. Amadou Onana then had the chance to put Everton through, and he hit a horrendous penalty. It was low, it lacked pace, it lacked direction, and Leno comfortably saved that, and that meant Carlos Vinicius could make it 4-all after 5 each. And since then, no one has missed. Tarkowski scoring, Tet scoring, Garner scoring, Robinson scoring, until Idrissa Gueye stepped up just then and hit the post, and Leno dived the right way anyway, so may well have had it covered. So it will be Tosin who has the chance now to send Fulham through to their first ever League Cup semi-final. Jordan Pickford bounces up on his line, and he tucks it into the bottom corner, and the Fulham players stream forward from the halfway line. History made for them at Goodison Park as they go through to that Carabao Cup semi-final. But for Everton, that dream of reaching Wembley, that dream of ending their near 30-year wait for some silverware will go on, at least in this competition. But Fulham are through. It wasn't the best of 90 minutes. They took the lead in the 41st of them when Robertson's cross hit Keane and went in for an own goal. Everton equalised late on through Beto after Gueye's deflected shot fell his way. But Fulham, you have to say, have defended superbly all evening. They haven't maybe shown the best attacking work, but their penalties have been clinical, most of them in the bottom corner. And they are heading through to that League Cup semi-final. Well, they'll be hoping that they can get a draw that favours them in terms of their opposition. But Marco Silva will be absolutely thrilled to return to Goodison and get a victory. Their fans on the far side are absolutely delighted. There's scarves being waved up in the air. The players are streaming over to them now. And they're going to be heading back to West London very, very happy this evening. Full time at Goodison. It does finish Everton 1, Fulham 1, but Fulham win the shootout.
Matt, thanks very much. So those Carabao Cup quarter-finals tonight, Fulham are through on penalties. Port Vale 0, Middlesbrough 3 was a result earlier. Here at Stamford Bridge, we're awaiting the shootout. Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1. Elsewhere, FA Cup second round, Blackpool beat Forest Green 3-0. They'll be away to Nottingham Forest in round 3. Bristol Street Motors Trophy finished Pompey 2, Wimbledon 5. They're home to Oxford in the round of 16. National League North, Banbury 1, Chorley 4, Gloucester 3, Curzon Ashton 0, and National League South, Slough 2, Hemel Hempstead 0. So congratulations to Fulham, their first ever League Cup semi-final. But let's focus, Stuart Pearce, on matters here at Stamford Bridge. It's a big error from Kieran Trippier. He's been brilliant for Newcastle, but the last couple of weeks he's looked very tired. He's made mistakes. He actually looks shot to bits, doesn't he? He needs a rest.
Well, to be fair, he didn't start tonight, and he's tried to deal with a bouncing ball in the box there, which was difficult. You've either got to head it out for a corner and play safe, or help it on up in the air so you can re-defend it again. He done neither and sort of got caught with just trying to stop it on the spot or head it to his goalie, I'm not sure which. And it's cost his team, and two defenders have cost their team today quite badly, and the game's there to be won for any team at this moment in time. I feel a little bit sorry for Newcastle. I don't think they deserve that, staying in the game like they have, but the big two, I think Chelsea will be very relieved if they do get over the line. Newcastle, well, the ascendancy's gone away from them at the moment.
Yeah, it has. Just a quick one. We agree Bruno Guimaraes shouldn't be allowed to take a penalty, shouldn't be on the pitch, straight red, right?
Well, I don't understand how the officials don't see that as a straight red.
I want to know what they're looking at so that they think, yeah, that's a yellow.
Yeah, you don't need VAR for that. You really don't. It was a wild swing, and he's caught him around the midriff. And to be honest with you, I think he'd been caught just slightly before that as well, and you could see there was intent in it.
There's words being exchanged on the touchline between Mauricio Pochettino and Jason Tindall, the Newcastle assistant manager. That has calmed down now as the goalkeepers shake hands ahead of the shootout. There's going to be a hero, there's going to be a villain as well, as the Chelsea and Newcastle players are lined up on the halfway line. Stamford Bridge awaits. I love this drama. 90 minutes straight to shootout. This is definitely the way forward. Love this. So, who's going to join Fulham and Middlesbrough in the Carabao Cup semi-finals? We're about to find out. It's the biggest drama you could possibly have in a cup competition. It's a penalty shootout. It's coming up live on TalkSport with Stuart Pearce, who knows all about them, and Jim Proudfoot.
Well, Adrian, thank you. You heard the big cheer from the Newcastle support that the shootout is going to be taken at their end of the ground, the shed end. It will be Chelsea that will go first. They've lost their last two shootouts in each of the cup finals a couple of seasons ago against Liverpool, one of which went to 11 penalties each. It was Kevin Arriba-Balaga that missed, you'll remember. But Thiago Silva was the only player on the pitch who was involved in either of those. So first up, it's going to be Palmer, who's got a brilliant record for penalties for Chelsea, and he's squeezed that one into the bottom right-hand corner easily, and he turns and puts his finger to his lips in front of the Newcastle supporters. Chelsea score with there first, and it's going to be Callum Wilson to go first for Newcastle.
Yeah, I've got to say, that was an absolute super penalty, and I wonder whether the referee has just had a bias of taking the penalty up the Newcastle end. They might have tossed for it, they probably did, but with the crowd, with one of the supporters for Chelsea coming on the pitch at the other end, I don't know whether he was advised from security purposes to take the penalty at this end, but a great penalty by Palmer.
Newcastle have won two of their last three shootouts. That includes one in a League Cup tie at Newport 3 seasons ago. Wilson took the first penalty in that one and scored, and he makes his way back to the edge of the box now. He addresses it, hits it right-footed. Past Petrovic and in. It's 1-1 after a penalty apiece.
It's again two of the most clinical penalties you'll see. Nice and composed, both individuals. Just pop the ball into the roof of the net.
That's the next up is Conor Gallagher, who is handed the ball by his goalkeeper Petrovic. Takes it off him on the edge of the D. And Dubravka in absolutely no hurry to take up position between the posts. Bobs up and down on the line. Gallagher also will hit this right foot of the Newcastle fans behind that goal, trying to put him off. Gallagher with sharp exhalation, right foot, it's a brilliant penalty. He has levered it into the top left-hand corner. And the 3 penalties we've seen so far have all gone in.
Yeah, I've got to say, a really clear-cut penalty there. Fantastic, into the roof of the net, goalkeeper no chance.
So Kieran Trippier goes next. And he will feel as though he has got something to prove after the defensive error that brought this shootout about in the first place. Trippier makes his way back. Full pace run up and then right footed. Oh, he's put it wide. The miserable 10 minutes he's had. Kieran Trippier got the power but drove it wide of the diving Petrovic. Misses the left-hand post and it's advantage Chelsea.
Well, I've got to say, he looks as though he's missed the post by a country mile there, you know, and he's gone into the penalty shootout, just having cost his team that valuable equaliser right at the end of the game. And, well, what must he be feeling now?
Christopher Nkunku will take Chelsea's third. On the night on which he's made his debut for the Blues, he bends his run up outside the penalty area and right-footed finds the top left-hand corner with aplomb. That's another brilliant penalty. All three Chelsea spot kicks have been sensationally good, and they're 3-1 up.
Yeah, they have. As I say, there's been four very, very good penalties. Kieran Trippier is the one that's bucked the trend, I'm afraid.
So Newcastle up against it. 3-1 down, this to make it 3-2. Guimaraes spotted the ball down and stands on the edge of the box. Pumps up his shoulders. Petrovic standing motionless as a stuttering run up and Guimaraes sends him the wrong way. Rolls it in the bottom right-hand corner. So after three penalties each, it's 3-2 to Chelsea, and Mudrik's going next.
Oh, God, okay. Super penalty there from Guimaraes, and I think he's played very, very well tonight for his team. Aside from a bit of a blood to the head late on with a rather poor challenge, that he's fortunate to stay on the pitch. I think he's had a good game tonight.
Mudrik, whose equalising goal is third for Chelsea, got this shootout and kept them in the cup. Can he keep their lead intact here in the shootout? Yes, he can. That's as calm as you like. He sent the keeper the wrong way and calmly side puts it into the bottom left-hand corner. And Chelsea are a penalty away from a League Cup semi-final. If Petrovic can save this one, Chelsea have got the job done. Is that Matt Ritchie that has made his way forward now? This will be the first left-footed penalty that we've seen. Ritchie's got to score for Newcastle to keep him in it. He stands motionless just inside the penalty area. Runs up left-footed, saved by Petrovic, and Chelsea are through. It looked for a long time that they would be going out of the League Cup tonight. Newcastle were 2.5 minutes away from another semi-final, but a Kieran Trippier error and then a missed penalty in the shootout, and a Matt Ritchie miss as well, means that Chelsea make it through to the semi-finals. This cup competition might just be the one that galvanises the Blues after a rotten 18 months. Stamford Bridge celebrating like it hasn't for a while. They're one step beyond the quarters. They're in the semis, and a favourable draw might see them back at Wembley. Not to be for Newcastle, and their wait for domestic silverware now depends on the FA Cup this season. The long wait continues. Chelsea out of jail right at the death, and they've won it 4-2 on penalties.
Jim, thanks very much. By the way, that's an outstanding save from Petrovic. That last penalty from Ritchie, it's not a bad penalty at all. He's flung himself to his left. It's kind of chest high, and he's got a strong hand and beating it out to win the shootout and win the tie for Chelsea. That's a brilliant penalty save. But what we've seen are some brilliant Chelsea penalties. That's how you keep calm and take advantage of the late goal, the late equaliser, and then execute it properly in the penalty shootout. Those pens from Chelsea were fantastic, weren't they?
They certainly were. They went into the penalty shootout with an ascendancy and a momentum with the late equaliser, and that carried on straight through the penalty shootout. Some great penalties. A tale of two teams, really, you know. Newcastle, you sort of feel sorry for them, really. They were in the game, they were comfortable, but it was two mistakes by two defenders that broke the deadlock for either team. Chelsea, in all honesty, I'm not convinced about them. I really don't. They're a team of very talented individuals, but just not got the slickness of passing at the moment to really go all the way. But they're in a semi-final. They've got every opportunity. There's Middlesbrough waiting for them. There's Fulham, their local rivals, waiting, and then West Ham or Liverpool.
Yeah, it's West Ham Liverpool live on TalkSport tomorrow, of course, the final quarter-final. And I know what you mean about Chelsea. It doesn't flow. They've somehow limped through this tie. They've got there, and that really is all that matters in cup competitions. But the facts are they dominated the game. The stats are incredible. They have more than 3 times as many efforts on goal as Newcastle, double the amount on target. They've had over 75% of the possession, Chelsea, but they never looked like winning it over the 90 minutes, did they? Really didn't convince.
No, they didn't. And a lot of that was down to the fact, probably symptomatic of it. Jim mentioned it in commentary. Raheem Sterling burst through the middle. All he's got to do is roll his mate a decent ball, and he pushes him so far wide that the chance is lost. And that was symptomatic of Chelsea from minute 1 to minute 90, to be honest with you. Not clinical enough for their play and the ability that they've got in the team. They've got to be better and slicker than that.
What would you say to Kieran Trippier? He's made a mistake for the equaliser. He's missed his penalty. He's not even on target. In the dressing room, what would you say to him?
Well, listen, Trips has been round the block. Trips is the one in the dressing room that the rest of the squad look to. Trips is the one that arrived in January, a couple of Januaries ago, that lifted the momentum at Newcastle United Football Club and took the whole club to a different level totally. So the bottom line is there's not much you can say. You can tell going into that penalty shootout he was still carrying the mistakes from just before the end of the game.
Well, the Newcastle players have disappeared down the tunnel. The Chelsea players are out there doing a lap of honour, and the Chelsea fans are literally dancing in the stands. They're absolutely loving every second of this. And when you think that these lot here, these fans have seen Chelsea win the Champions League twice, and what, only in 2021 they won the Champions League. It's not that long ago, and yet here they are loving the fact that this new look football club, never mind new look team, are into the semi-finals of the League Cup. They're really enjoying the moment. It's kind of refreshing to see. They're not like ambling away, oh, we've done that again. They're absolutely loving it. Enzo Fernandez was actually in tears. Mauricio Pochettino was emotional at the final, after the final penalty.
You got to understand that this football team thought they were going out of the cup competition. You know what I mean? About 10 minutes ago, they thought they were done and dusted. They've knocked on the door and had no answer whatsoever because they didn't look as though they could break Newcastle down. And all of a sudden, the mistake has opened the door and they've won the penalty shootout and they're in a semi-final where they'll be thinking, we get every chance to get into Wembley and winning this competition now. These are the defining moments in a season that you have that sometimes flick the balance in your direction, and maybe it's just turned the corner for Chelsea tonight.
So Chelsea, Middlesbrough and Fulham are in the semi-finals. Let's quickly look ahead to tomorrow, Liverpool, West Ham. What's going to happen?
Well, on paper, you're suggesting that Liverpool will win the game. Depending on team selection, if tonight's anything to go by, you would expect West Ham and Liverpool to play their strongest side to attempt to get there. They'll be looking and seeing what's also available in the semi-final that they've got to face, and they'll fancy their chances, both teams tomorrow night. West Ham have not got a great record up at Liverpool, so I'm going for a West Ham victory.
I like that. The reality is, the 3 that are through, Chelsea are 10th in the Premier League, Fulham are in the bottom half, Middlesbrough are halfway down the Championship, so it's there for the taking.
It certainly is. As I say, it's a brilliant competition. It's the first one of the season, first bit of silverware, and listen, when the draw's made, they tickets are for tomorrow's games. Whoever's in the semi will fancy their chances of going all the way.
Stuart, enjoyed your company. Thank you very much.
My pleasure, my friend.
West Indies chasing England's massive 267 in the T20 live on TalkSport 2. Right now, to get TalkSport 2, download the TalkSport app for free. It's quick and easy to use. Swipe between the two stations or tell your smart speaker to play TalkSport 2. The West Ham at Liverpool live on TalkSport in the final quarter-final tomorrow night on TalkSport. And actually, the winner of that will be the highest-ranked team left in this competition. Middlesbrough and Michael Carrick into the semis. They're the last of the EFL teams left. So too Fulham after a shootout win at Everton. Here at Stamford Bridge, Newcastle led for ages, but a Trippier mistake gifted Chelsea an equaliser, and then they showed us a penalty masterclass. Newcastle out of Europe last week, out of the Carabao Cup this week, and their wait for a trophy goes on and on and on. Adam Cattrall and Colin Cole on the Sports Bar next, when you'll get reaction from everybody involved here at Stamford Bridge, and your reaction as well, please. 03717 223344.
Kick-off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
At Eon Next, we believe life's better when you know that if you need help with your energy, there's a team of dedicated energy specialists who work hard to get it sorted, so you can get back to doing what you like quicker. We think that makes energy a little bit better. And that's why we're always working towards helping you get more out of your energy. So, visit eonnext.com today.
Right here for Gillette. Have I got something for you? The Gillette Labs razor has a unique exfoliating bar that clears the path before the blades for effortless shaving in one stroke, leaving you fresh and ready to take on your day in no time. And at Gillette, we promise you that Gillette Labs is the ultimate shave, or, I've always wanted to say this, your money back. Gillette, the best a man can get. 18 plus, retain receipt, terms and conditions apply.
Andy Biorekin Fenway here, ambassador for Bet UK. And in case you didn't know, I'm kind of a big deal. But at Bet UK, an even bigger deal is gambling responsibly. It's important to keep yourself safe when betting. That's why you can find a range of tools on the Bet UK app and website. You can set deposit limits, schedule reality checks, and set timeouts to help you stay in control. Always gamble responsibly at Bet UK.
18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
A traffic update for all late-night travellers. There are delays outside getting to bed due to a hold-up at Grand's Never-Ending Stories. Please take the diversion via Mayo Chicken or a warming latte, which will see you home.
Plenty of McDonald's restaurants are open late tonight. See mcdonalds.com for opening times. Ah, that'll be my Amazon delivery.
Magnificent goal! Beautiful football! Brilliant finish!
This festive season, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Amazon delivers the Premier League with 10 live matches from Boxing Day. Only on Prime.
It's time to veg out with Lidl's Christmas pick of the week. With bags of carrots, parsnips, shallots, Brussels sprouts, Swedes and 2 kilograms of white potatoes, all for just 15p each. In Lidl stores now. Now that's big on quality and always little on price.
Subject to availability, selected stores GB only.
Whether you're singing songs, dressed as a traffic cone at the alley pally, roaring yourself hoarse on the first day of Cheltenham, or hugging a stranger because City just equalised in the 98th minute. With Virgin Bet, it's a good bet you'll be doing it safely and responsibly. Our range of responsible gambling tools mean you can lose yourself in the occasion without losing track of your betting. There's no such thing as a dead cert, but it's a good bet that Virgin Bet can help you keep it safe and enjoyable. Virgin Bet. 18 plus. Bet responsibly. BeGambleAware.org.
Get an expert guide to all the latest speculation, signings and spending sprees with Simon Jordan's Football Business Roundup on TalkSport with Tesco Mobile for Business. From the latest deals worth knowing to where the big money transfers are going. Get the inside track in one all-covering football finance feature. Simon Jordan's Football Business Roundup on TalkSport with Tesco Mobile for Business. Join Tesco Mobile and get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. Tesco Mobile. Every little helps. For applicable applicable terms and verification. See tescomobile.com/business.
On 1089 and 10:53 a.m. Online, on DAB, and on your smart speaker. Christmas 2023 on Talk Sport.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker. The Sports Bar on Talk Sport.
All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening.
Check this out for a Christmas cracker. You don't have to wait till Friday this week. Oh no, they've sprinkled us in on a Tuesday night. That's right, the Dream Team are here. It's Catman and Corley on a Tuesday, baby. That's right, fire up your radio. Don't adjust your sets because we're going to get stuck right on in to a bit of Carabao Cup action. Borough, Fulham, Chelsea marching on into them semi-finals. Liverpool and West Ham to maybe join them tomorrow. Who will it be? We'll talk about that throughout the whole course of the show. Kieran Trippier can't catch a break at the moment. Cooper's out at Forest. No gravy, Jeff. Unbelievable. We'll be getting stuck into them Christmas dinner disasters from breakfast this morning. Quizzy Rascal will be here. And what does it take to qualify for Sports Personality of the Year? 03717 22 33 44. You are listening to the Sports Bar on a Tuesday night with the big dogs. That's right, I called ourselves the big dogs. That's how we're rolling on Talk Sport tonight. Sprinkling us in on a Tuesday night, buddy. How are we?
Brilliant, man. How you been, man? I've just I've been busy. I've been busy this week.
Yeah,
well, still just started. But it seems like everything's just, this period has come out to Christmas.
Yeah.
It's just like you're trying to get everything in, fitted in before you have your time off, isn't it?
All merges into one day, mate.
So it's like all 1 week, basically. Like 10 days will just be 1 week.
That's it.
So that's what's going on in my life at the moment.
Getting all your work done.
Getting it all done.
Getting Santa's list done.
Getting everything done.
All that, yeah.
Yeah. Getting everything done for my 2 days off.
At least it's better than when it was when you were a footballer, mate. You didn't get any days off. There you go.
That's true.
You're more than welcome to come and join us on the show tonight. 03717 22 33 44. If you've just turned the radio on and you're checking in on the scores, congratulations to Middlesbrough. They came through their game against Port Vale. They are into the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. Chelsea came through on penalties against Newcastle. In the 92nd minute, they were getting beat by a goal to nil.
I know.
Then, I'll tell you what, he can't catch a break at the moment, can Kieran Trippier, can he? Cannot catch a break. Give the ball away inside his own box. Mudryk, of all people.
But he comes on to do that as well, by the way. They was cruising.
Yeah.
Not cruising, but they was winning, in the winning position.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes on and it just goes Pete Tong.
Yeah, he had a disaster up at Everton as well, didn't he? Obviously, it's not gone right tonight. And then he went and missed a penalty in the penalty shootout too. Which
he just looks like he's struggling.
He needs a break, man.
He just needs a little break mentally as well. It looks like he needs a break from football, just for a little bit, maybe 2 games.
Maybe Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas would have been.
Christmas would sort him right out.
It would. Maybe this is our plan for him. Maybe this was the plan.
Do you reckon?
No extra games anymore.
Boss, I need a couple of weeks off over Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll get myself sorted for the new year.
Yeah, we'll eject ourselves out of the Champions League, yeah? We eject ourselves out of the Carabao Cup.
You are being brutal tonight, man. You've gone all in. This is a strategy to get a rest.
It might be, because they look a little bit overrun at the moment, that squad. It does look a little bit overrun. The same players playing all the time, and they've got so many injuries. So I feel sorry for them.
And for the first time in their history, as I'm just being informed here, Fulham are into a cup semi-final.
Is it?
Listen, that's the information that I've just been given.
Oh, good luck to them. Well done.
League Cup, the first time ever a League Cup final, is that right?
League Cup
League Cup semi-final. There you go.
Well done, Fulham. Well done.
Stats coming in thick and fast.
Love it.
They came through against Everton again on a penalty shootout. Did you see Anana's penalty?
Cool, blimey.
It's a beauty, that, isn't it?
Oh, he needs to take a long.
He needs
a long, good shower. Yeah. So when he comes out the shower, he needs to go look in that mirror. Yeah. And blame himself for everything that's happened on that pitch today.
I bet Everton fans are fuming because they're in good nick at the moment. They're in good nick. They're going in the right direction, and that's a competition that I reckon a lot of them fans have fancied.
Listen, he's in confident form. He's doing well on the pitch for Everton. Everton are firing in all cylinders at the moment. But then there's confidence and there's arrogance and there's stupidity.
Yeah.
He shows stupidity.
Yeah. It's a poor
What kind of penalty was that? I know you're confident, yeah, but you can't be coming on. Like, what are you gonna? Even if you scored that, where's the satisfaction? Like, people think you're being a bit leery here now, mate. Just wheel it in because we don't want that missing. And I'm so glad he missed it because it's disrespectful to the goalkeeper in the game.
03717 22 33 44. That's where we'll start. We'll start with Carabao Cup. If you're pouring out of the game this evening, or maybe you've got a thought from watching it at home, listening to it here on TalkSport, get in contact with the show. James, how are you, mate?
How are you doing? Yeah, I'm fine, you?
James, how are you, mate? How are you feeling, mate? How are you feeling?
Absolutely devastated for the lads. You know, they played the hearts out, and full credit to Eddie Howe. What a job he has done with his football team. He plays with this winning formality and the formation he got right, but it was just not meant to be. But the lads did us proud tonight. Really proud with a lot of them.
Where are you at with Trippier at the moment, mate? Do you think he needs a rest?
Absolutely. He's playing too many games at the moment, and you can see he's knackered. God love him. And you know it is though. He's getting a bit stick, but he shouldn't be getting stick because he's being played every single game, and he must be knackered. I mean, he looked knackered coming on at half time, but he does need a break. But we'll still support Kieran Trippier. He's been phenomenal since he's come in. I love his attitude, and I just love the player. But he does need a bit of a break. He really does.
With you, James. I am. Listen, he's been an absolute legend so far, and it's not done yet. He just needs. Sometimes you just have a bit of a burnout.
Most definitely.
Take a little bit of a step back when it's not going your way and regain that form.
It's up to the manager sometimes to protect. Because it's a mental well-being thing as well.
Of course.
Because if too much of something, and it does get to you. So I do feel for him. And he's made the vital mistakes.
David, how are you, mate?
Hello.
How you, Dave?
Hi, Dave. How you doing, pal?
How we doing, Lynn?
Yeah, good man. What you saying on your beloved? Is it Newcastle your team?
Yeah, mate, that's my team. Half my family's a Geordie, so yeah, I know.
Good. What do you want to say?
I just think we've reached our breaking point at the moment. I think, the injury list it almost feels scripted, the injury situation. It's like version on comical. We get Botman and Longstaff back, and then guess who goes out with injury? Joe Winton and Chair. Compoundment situation. Gordon's just been gone off into this game. And what's that like? Grass gone off as well. And then the icing on the cake. The man who's led us through thick and thin, who's been our captain for the majority of what was
Yo guys. Yeah, what a nice win from Chelsea football team. Guys, I love this win and I expect more of this to come on for Chelsea. And I love this win because of the way Chelsea suffer for the one goal equalizer. And we know we have a player that has been we spend a lot of money on him, but still he didn't find the right moment and the right time to score. And I think this is the right time that it makes his value known. Guys, Modric scoring the equalizing goal in the dying minutes is a big win for Chelsea. So guys, I believe that there's still more to come from that player. There's still more. There are many things we have to see coming on from Modric, and we believe that if it continues like this, we see the value of him. Guys, I don't know if you watched the game. I watched the game. I see Chelsea fighting hard. We have possession, 7-1. Guys, Chelsea have all possession, but you know what? I think Chelsea have to spend a little bit more on the defensive area because Chelsea need a defender. Yeah, we need a defender despite a goal scorer. Yeah, Christopher Kuku is back, so it's a big add-on to the club. But we still need a defender because we need someone that can guarantee a goal for Chelsea Football Club, that can bring that goals aspect to Chelsea. So guys, I believe that if Chelsea can sign a defender, I believe that the team will be more better because Chelsea need a defender. I think the defensive aspect is where Chelsea have to spend money on. It's the right place to spend money on because Chelsea really need to spend money in the defensive area. Guys, after the disgrace from Newcastle last time, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, but now Chelsea's back. It's back. And guys, who wants to sign keeper. I'm very proud of the youngster, of the goalkeeper. Yeah, it's a when it comes to penalty shootout, I said I will be honest to you all. I will be honest, 100% honest. I will be so honest because I said, yeah, Chelsea is out because a penalty shootout. I don't believe that the goalkeeper can make us bad, guys, but it just shows his quality. It just let us know that it's not about the age or the size. It's about the passion and the ambition to focus, guys, and that is what we just find out. That is what we just see from the young goalkeeper, guys. This is a massive one for Chelsea, and this is a massive one for Chelsea Football Club, and this one is the most important win I can say I see Chelsea win, guys. Winning against Newcastle to me is everything. I really love to see Chelsea in this kind of result. I really love to see this team that works hard, that are there fighting for a result. All means they need that result really hard. That is the Chelsea I want to see. That is the team I want to see. Despite the quick goal, the quick goal that Chelsea conceived, but still, guys, the players are there fighting hard to make sure they make a good result, to make sure that they didn't lose the match. And guys, when you have a good passion on game, you don't play just because of the money. You play because of the passion. This is what you have as a result, and that is what the Chelsea team and the players just find out. And guys, I know I talk a lot about Mauricio Pochettino situation. Mauricio Pochettino situation, I really don't like it so much because sometimes when he wants to make a change, he don't make the right change at the right time. But guys, this time around, I can say fully confident that he made the right change at the right time. He made the right change at the right time, and that brings Chelsea a huge win today. Because if he didn't make the right change at the right time, I don't think we have that equalizing goal, and that perfect change, that is what brings us the equalizing goal. And guys, Christian Kuku, this is, I would say a good start for him. A good start because I love his passion. I love the way he plays today. I love everything about him. I love the way the ambition of him trying to bring that result to Chelsea. I love it. I can say 100% I love it. That is what I want to see. That is what I believe a lot of you Chelsea fans wants to see this same Chelsea. I hope Chelsea will use this same passion in the Premier League. Yeah, we still have a match before the year end against don't get me wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, against Watford. Yeah, I think so. Against Watford, I believe that it would be the perfect match, and I really love to see Chelsea winning that game so that we can have also we can still make the top four if the players plays like this the way they play today. I believe that we can still make top four. So guys, you know what?